Chapter 835. I want to divorce you. Wu Grandma's words came out bold and shameless. Yet Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju were completely unable to do anything about her. They certainly couldn't really kill Wu Grandma. Yen Erju cried in despair, I can't live this way anymore. Life is unlivable like this. Wu Jinshu, I want to divorce you. Divorce, divorce, divorce. Let's do it immediately. Wu Grandma sat up in bed, pointing at Yen Erju. You'd better take your things and get out of our Wu family's house. But the kids belong to our Wu family, and you're not taking a single one with you. Did Yen Erju think she could threaten her with divorce? She truly wasn't afraid. In the future, their family would have a Western-style house and a Beijing residence registration. Wouldn't it be easy for Wu Jinshu to find another wife? You just say less. Wu Jinshu said. Erju, don't be angry, my mom's gone senile. She's lost her mind. Wu Jinshu helped Yen Erju up from the floor. Let's go back to our room. There will definitely be a way to solve this. Hearing Wu Jinshu protect Yen Erju to the point of calling his own mother crazy sent Wu Grandma into a rage. This was outrageous. Wu Grandma immediately sprang out of bed, hurling curses. I'm crazy. I'm a lunatic. What sin did I commit in the past to raise such a thing like you? Now, to protect a little vile woman, you even dare to call your own mother crazy. You unfilial son will descend to the 18th layer of hell for this. Wu Jinshu pretended not to hear these words, pulling Yen Erju towards their room. Wu Grandma, so angry she was shaking, invoked Wu Jinshu's dead father in her tirade, bouncing up and down on her feet as if they were on springs. Yen Erju was pulled into the room by Wu Jinshu. Wu Jinshu comforted her. Erju, don't worry, our family will definitely not sell our daughter. Even if I have to sell my blood, we will gather these 3,000 yuan. This was not just to comfort Yen Erju. Wu Jinshu was truly ready to sell his blood. When Wu Yinyun had been picked up, with her umbilical cord still uncut, it was they who had raised her, dealing with all the mess and pee. Over the years, Yen Erju, not just Wu Jinshu, treated her as their own daughter. In their family of 3 boys, Wu Yinyun was the only daughter. If the family hadn't been so poor, they would have cherished their daughter like the apple of their eye. Alas, they couldn't afford to. Yen Erju, weeping inconsolably in Wu Jinshu's arms, cried out, My Xiaoyun is so fated to suffer. If I knew it'd be so hard with us, I'd rather have sent her to live with my sister. Yen Erju's sister, named Yen Deju, was much older than Yen Erju. When Yen Erju had found Wu Yinyun, Yen Deju really wanted to adopt her, since they had 4 boys and longed for a daughter, but Yen Erju had not agreed. Now, looking back, Yen Erju was filled with regret. Yen Deju's family was doing really well. 3 of her 4 sons had gone to college and were working. If Wu Yinyun had been with them, she surely would still be in school now. Erju, what nonsense are you talking about? Since we've brought Yinyun home, she is our daughter, and you shall not say such things again. Come on now, wipe away your tears, lest the kids come back and worry unnecessarily when they see us like this. Yen Erju, wiping her tears, asked, But what do we do now? Xiaoyun is only 17 this year, are we really going to let her marry and become someone's stepmother? No. As long as I am around, I won't let her marry and become anyone's stepmother. Wu Jinshu said. I'll sell blood right after work tomorrow, and we'll save whatever we can. Yen Erju nodded. Okay, I'll go too. Wu Yinyun took her 2 younger brothers out to the streets. The 2 boys were young and overjoyed at the sight of candy. Wu Yinyun was weighed down with worries. She always felt something had happened at home, and Yen Erju had deliberately sent her out. While Wu Yinyun was preoccupied with her thoughts, a gentle voice rang out in front of her. Yinyun. Yang. Wu Yinyun looked up, not expecting to see An Yang, her eyes filled with surprise. Yinyun, are these your little brothers? An Yang continued to ask. Wu Yinyun nodded. This is my eldest brother, Wu Dalong, and this is my second brother, Wu Erlong. We also have a youngest brother named Wu Xiaolong. Dalong Erlong, this is sister Yang, she's a benefactor to our family. Both Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong had a yellowish complexion, and although Wu Yinyun was a bit darker, it was clear that her darkness was acquired from sun exposure. Among the facial features, one of the brothers resembled Wu Jinshu and the other resembled Yen Erju. Chapter 836. I want to divorce you. _2. But Wu Yinyun was unlike any of them. Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong were a bit shy, hiding behind Wu Yinyun, afraid to address anyone, and quietly sizing up An Yang. This sister is so pretty, even prettier than our own older sister. An Yang then said, Yinyun, my home is nearby. Why don't you bring your 2 brothers over to play? Every time she saw Wu Yinyun, she felt a sense of affection, which is why she invited Wu Yenyun to visit her home. Moreover, Wu Yenyun didn't resemble her parents, while one brother resembled their father and the other resembled their mother. Given that Wu Yenyun's parents were also from Haiqing City, and Ai Yang even now harbored a bold suspicion. Wu Yenyun was worried about her family. "I can't today, my mom is waiting for the soy sauce and salt I need to bring back for cooking." And Ai Yang took Wu Yenyun's wrist directly. Come on. My mother and I have only been in Beijing for 2 years and don't have many friends. Your brothers and you visiting us would certainly make my parents and my grandparents very happy. It's just after 3 now, still early for cooking." And Ai Yang's enthusiasm made it hard for Wu Yenyun to refuse. The Zheng family's place wasn't far. It was a mere 5-minute walk away. Standing in front of the glittering and splendid villa, Wu Yenyun was extremely shocked. She had passed by this villa every day on her way to school but had never thought that Ai Yang actually lived here. Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong were also very surprised, tugging at Wu Yenyun's sleeve quietly. "Big sister, this place is so beautiful." The villa had servants and the decor was luxurious, which made Wu Yenyun feel somewhat restrained. Although she wasn't dirty, she was wearing patched clothes. Even the servants of the Zheng family wore better than her. Fortunately, the Zheng family servants were all well-mannered, without any hint of a strange look, and Ai Yang didn't look down on her, keeping her arm linked with Wu Yenyun's the whole walk over. The butler brought over several plates of exquisite pastries and beverages. Ai Yang asked, "Where's my mom?" "Madam is upstairs," the butler replied. "Oh." Ai Yang nodded and then encouraged Wu Yenyun and her 2 brothers to eat the snacks and drink the beverages. Wu Yenyun still restrained herself, while her 2 brothers were happily eating. "Yenyun, no need to be so tense, make yourself at home here. Actually, we've only just moved into this place ourselves. A year ago, it wasn't even our house." Ai Yang started the conversation willingly. What?" Wu Yenyun was curious. Picking up 2 pastries, one for herself and passing one to Wu Yenyun, Ai Yang began to tell Wu Yenyun about Ai Qihua's background. Wu Yenyun listened in amazement. "Oh my! I feel like I'm reading one of Auntie Jinjio's novels." Auntie Jinjio's tragic novels were very popular during that time, and Wu Yenyun had read them too. Ai Yang said, "Life is not like a novel. My mother and I only started to have better days in the past 2 years. Before that, we were living in Dam Village. Our grandmother valued boys over girls. Right after my mother had a few sisters, she was thrown behind the mountain to feed the wolves. We decided to come to Beijing only when we couldn't go on living like that. Thinking back on that life now, it feels like a dream." Ai Yang wasn't someone who talked incessantly, and she rarely mentioned her past to others. She did so this time because she had her doubts. Besides, these things weren't secrets. Even if things weren't as she thought, it wouldn't matter if Wu Yenyun came to know them. Wu Yenyun listened in amazement. "How could your grandmother do such a thing?" Although Grandma Wu didn't like her very much, Wu Yenyun had never entertained the idea of being discarded by her. That was too horrifying. Who does such a thing to their own granddaughter? Ai Yang smiled bitterly and shook her head. "There was nothing I could do about having such a grandmother. I was young at the time and my mother had just given birth. We had no way to stand up to her. I don't even know if those sisters of mine are dead or alive now." Wu Yenyun sighed. Yang, don't worry, maybe your sisters are fortunate and still alive." As she spoke these words, Wu Yenyun herself lacked confidence. Newborn babies had no capability to survive, and having been thrown so far away, the likelihood of living was slim. Just then Ai Tsuehua came downstairs. Yang, do we have visitors?" "Mom," Ai Yang stood up quickly to introduce Wu Yenyun. "Hello, Auntie." Wu Yenyun was a polite and well-mannered child as well. Ai Tsuehua smiled and said, "Please sit, don't be formal here. Just treat it like your own home." Chapter 837. I want to divorce you. _3. Upon finishing her sentence, Ai Tsuehua had someone bring over many delicious dishes. "Yenyun, you and your brothers don't need to go back tonight, just stay for dinner." Ai Tsuehua was also fond of Wu Yenyun. The young girl was pretty and knew her manners. Upon hearing this, Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong's eyes lit up. Wu Yenyun said, "Thank you, Auntie, you are too kind. My mom is waiting for the salt and soy sauce to cook dinner." "Oh, is that so?" Ai Tsuehua nodded and turned to walk upstairs. After a while, Ai Tsuehua came down from upstairs with 2 large bags in her hands. Around 5 o'clock, Wu Yenyun expressed her wish to leave. Ai Tsuehua handed the 2 bags to Wu Yenyun. "Yenyun, these clothes were gifts for Yang, but she usually prefers to wear cheongsam, so these are surplus to her needs and it's a waste to keep them at home. If you don't mind, please take them to wear." These were gifts from some relatives when Ni Yang returned to the Zheng family. The clothes were brand new but not to Ni Yang's taste, so they remained at home. Ni Tsuehua originally wanted to donate them to the orphanage, but the children there were quite young. Ni Tsuehua saw that Wu Yanyan's clothes were not very nice, so she decided to give them to Wu Yanyun. Wu Yanyan's family was poor, her clothes, generally patched up, were mostly relief clothing received from the village. Though these relief clothes were previously worn by others, the clothes Ni Tsuehua gave were all new. When Ni Tsuehua handed over the clothes, Wu Yanyun was very happy. "Thank you, auntie. I don't mind at all." Seeing how happy Wu Yanyun was, Ni Tsuehua was also very pleased. "I'm glad you like them, remember to come visit us often." "Okay, auntie," Wu Yanyun nodded. Ni Tsuehua and Ni Yang saw Wu Yanyun out to the gate. Under the sunlight, Ni Yang's hand held a slender strand of hair. Wu Dalong tugged at Wu Yanyun's sleeve. Sister Yang earlier was so pretty. Can we often come to visit their home?" Wu Yanyun pinched Wu Dalong's nose. "You just want those tasty snacks and candies, don't you?" Wu Dalong stuck out his tongue. Honestly, aside from being a bit greedy, Wu Dalong really didn't have any other faults. Wu Yanyun continued, "If we visit Yang Yang's home again, you can't be impolite like today, greet people properly, and eat elegantly without making smacking sounds." "Oh, got it," Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong nodded. When Wu Yanyun and her brothers got home, Grandma Wu had already calmed down, with the kitchen knife previously brandished now nowhere in sight. Although the quarrel had subsided, there was still an indescribable oppressiveness in the yard. It was odd. "Mom," Wu Yanyun took the bought soy sauce and salt to find Yen Erju. Hearing Wu Yanyun, Yen Erju quickly wiped her eyes and pretended as if nothing had happened. "Mom's in the kitchen. Xiaoyan, did you buy everything?" "I bought it." Wu Yanyun placed the salt and soy sauce on the stove, carrying 2 bags of clothes over to Yen Erju. "Mom, look, these are clothes from Yang Yang's mom and they're all new." "Oh, they look nice. Yang Yang's mom, just like Yang Yang, is a kind person." Wu Yanyun noticed something was off with Yen Erju and asked, "Mom, why are your eyes red?" "I'm fine." Yen Erju casually wiped her eye. "Just some sand got in because of the wind." "Did you thank them properly for giving you so many clothes?" "I did, don't worry," Wu Yanyun continued. "Mom, are you sure you're okay?" Somehow Wu Yanyun felt uneasy. Yen Erju smiled. "Look at you worrying, I'm really fine. You should go try on those clothes to see if they fit." "Mom, if something is wrong you have to tell me." "I know." Yen Erju pushed Wu Yanyun towards the door. "Go on and change your clothes." "All right." Girls always loved looking beautiful, so Wu Yanyun went inside to try on the clothes. During dinner that evening, Grandma Wu didn't show up. Wu Yanyun asked curiously, "Why isn't Grandma coming out to eat?" Yen Erju didn't respond. Wu Jinshu said, "She's sick. I'll bring some food over to her," Wu Yanyun said. Chapter 838. I Want to Divorce You. _4. Yen Erju scooped up half a bowl of rice and grabbed a couple of chopsticks full of greens. "Let Dalong go." Wu Yanyun said, "Mom, why aren't you taking some meat?" The meat was bought by Wu Jinshu. Today was the first day of rest for the couple after starting their jobs, and they had wanted to celebrate properly with the family. So he specifically bought 2 jin of meat, only to end up like this in the end. Yen Erju said expressionlessly, "Your grandma is sick and has no appetite for meat. Dalong, go deliver it quickly." Wu Dalong, carrying the bowl, ran swiftly to Grandma Wu's room. Grandma Wu was lying in bed, and upon seeing Wu Dalong coming she said contentedly, "It's good to have my oldest grandson, not like those other people who have forgotten about Grandma. Grandma is doing all this for their own good." Wu Dalong didn't understand what Grandma Wu was talking about. After setting down the bowl, he ran off quickly. He was still waiting to go back to his room to eat meat. Grandma Wu grabbed hold of Wu Dalong's sleeve. "Dalong, don't rush off just yet, accompany Grandma and talk for a while." Wu Dalong broke free from Grandma Wu's grasp and ran outside in a hurry. "Grandma, I'll come back after I finish the meat." In a moment, that greedy Erlong will have eaten all the meat. They were eating meat? They were eating meat, and they only brought her a little bit of greens and half a small bowl of rice. It was such a bullying. Grandma Wu, with a clang, smashed the bowl onto the floor, shattering it. On the other side, Wu Yanyun heard the commotion and immediately said, "I'll go check on Grandma." "No need to go," Erju pressed Wu Yanyun's hand. "Eat your meal." Wu Jinshu didn't speak, just silently ate his food. Wu Yanyun asked somewhat anxiously, "Mom, what's really going on?" Erju said with a smile, "Nothing much. Your grandma is probably just in a bad mood. If you go now, aren't you asking to be scolded? Eat quickly." Oh, Wu Yinyun was somewhat skeptical. The family continued to eat. The next day Wu Jinshu and Yin Erju went to work as usual. As soon as they left the house, the couple's faces were filled with worry. 3,000 yuan. A whole 3,000 yuan. Where were they going to find these 3,000 yuan? In the evening after work, the couple went to the hospital ready to sell blood, but the formal hospital said they were malnourished and advised against drawing blood, so they went to a private hospital instead. A normal healthy person could only sell 400 cc of blood, but each of the couple sold 800 cc. After the 800 cc of blood was drawn, both of them were dizzy with wobbly legs. Yet 1600 cc of blood only got them 100 yuan. Compared to the needed 3,000 yuan, 100 yuan was merely a drop in the bucket. What should we do? Yen Erju cried while holding Wu Jinshu. Wu Jinshu comforted her. Don't cry, there'll be a way. I don't believe that my mom really bought my sister a bicycle and a sewing machine. I'll beg my mom when I get back, let her take out that 3,000 yuan. As a son, he didn't believe Grandma Wu would be so callous as to not leave them any hope for survival. Okay. After getting home, Wu Jinshu went to Grandma Wu's room. Grandma Wu was still lying on the bed with her back to the door, the same as yesterday without changing her position. The shattered bowl on the floor had not yet been cleared away. Wu Jinshu knelt down towards Grandma Wu. Mom, please give our family a peaceful life again. You mean to say I'm not peaceful? Grandma Wu shot up from the bed. I'm your mother. The mother who raised you with her own 2 hands. Now you treat your own mother like this for a foundling girl. An unfilial son like you will one day be struck by lightning. Wu Jinshu cried out, Mom, Yinyun is the daughter of Erju and me. She may not be our own flesh and blood, but in our hearts she is more precious than our own. She still needs to attend school, she has to become a college student. She absolutely can't become someone else's stepmother. Mom, please take out that 3,000 yuan. When the people from the Wu family come tomorrow, I'll return the money to them. The money's gone, said Grandma Wu. I spent over 1,000 yuan buying your sister a bicycle and a sewing machine, and I lost the rest. So this marriage had to take place. Wu Jinshu looked at Grandma Wu in disbelief. Mom, did you really buy Jinjin a bicycle and a sewing machine? Yes. To crush Wu Jinshu's hopes, Grandma Wu took out 2 receipts from her pocket. Here are the receipts for the bicycle and the sewing machine. Although Wu Jinshu couldn't read, he recognized receipts. Wu Jinshu trembled all over. Mom, how could you do this? How can you take the money from selling Yinyun and spend it on things for Jinjin? Chapter 839. I want to divorce you. _5. This is the betrothal money. How did it become money for selling oneself? The conditions of the Wu Chang family are so good, it's her blessing that she can marry into that family. As the saying goes, marrying well is all about having clothes to wear and food to eat. If a girl can marry a bit better, she can enjoy her later life. I'm not harming her. You two make it sound like I'm some kind of a great villain. Alright, I'll be the villain then. At this point, Wu Grandma continued, what's wrong with buying your sister a bicycle and a sewing machine? That's what you owe your sister. When your sister got married, I secretly gave all her dowry money to you too. She didn't even get a proper wedding dowry. Wu Jinshu immediately broke into tears, hugging his head and sitting on the ground. Mom, you're really making it impossible for us to live. To tell you the truth, Erju and I sold our blood today. No matter what, I won't let Yinyun marry someone else as a stepmother. Upon hearing this, Wu Grandma was shocked. What? You really went to sell blood? No wonder she thought Wu Jinshu seemed a bit off, so he had gone to sell his blood. It seems that wild girl really can't be kept. She's a curse. Her presence disturbs the peace of the old Wu family. Wu Jinshu nodded. We really did, so Mom, I'll accept you buying Jinjin a bicycle and a sewing machine. Can you give me the rest of that money? Together we can come up with enough to call off this arranged marriage. It's too late to argue over the bicycle and the sewing machine now. Wu Grandma sighed. You go out first, I'll think it over. Seeing Wu Grandma finally softening, Wu Jinshu breathed a sigh of relief and immediately stood up from the ground. Mom, you think about it, I won't disturb you anymore. You go out. Wu Grandma waved her hand. When Wu Jinshu came out from Wu Grandma's room, Yen Erju asked anxiously, how did it go? What did your mom say? Wu Jinshu said, my mom isn't an utterly ruthless person. She agreed to think about it. After all, Yinyun is her granddaughter. Hearing this, Yen Erju also sighed with relief. At dinner, Wu Grandma still didn't join the table. Wu Yinyun noticed Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju's complexions looking bad and asked, Dad, Mom, are you okay? Your faces look so pale. Wu Jinshu said, It's nothing, probably just too tired from work during the day. Yinyun, later on take your brothers to bathe and your mom and I are going to bed. Okay, Wu Yinyun nodded, still a bit worried. Dad, Mom, are you really all right? Should we call Dr. Li to come take a look? Dr. Li was the barefoot doctor in their area. No need, we just need some rest. At night, after seeing that her brothers had all gone to bed, Wu Yinyun prepared to wash the dishes. Just then Wu Grandma, who hadn't shown her face all day, suddenly stepped out. Yinyun, come here with me. Wu Yinyun was stunned. Oh, okay. In Wu Grandma's room, have your parents gone to bed? Ah. Wu Yinyun nodded. Wu Grandma continued, Do you know why your parents looked so pale? Wu Yinyun shook her head. It's all because of you that they've become like this, Wu Grandma continued. Yinyun, if you really are a filial and good daughter, then please consider your parents and your 3 younger brothers. You can't be too selfish. Wu Yinyun was completely stunned. Grandma, what are you talking about? Wu Grandma sat on a stool. It's come to this, so I might as well tell you the truth. You are not your parents' biological child. Your mother picked you up in the mountains when she was gathering firewood. Wu Yinyun couldn't hear the rest of her words. Everything was a blur in her ears. In her mind there were only 5 words. She was picked up. She was a foundling. No wonder she didn't look like either Wu Jinshu or Yen Erju. No wonder Wu Grandma often said it was her who dragged down the whole family, so it was like this. It was like this. Tears welled up in Wu Yanyun's eyes and suddenly gushed out, flooding her face in an instant. Wu Grandma looked at Wu Yanyun with disdain and continued, I've spoken to a household about you. It's Wu Lan's brother Wu Chang. Wu Chang is in very good condition, and once you marry into their family, you just need to enjoy life. Once you marry him, not only will you become a wealthy lady, but our entire family will bask in your glory. Wu Chang's mother has already given me a betrothal gift of 3,000 yuan, and she promised that after you get married, our family can move to that small Western-style house with a courtyard in front, and even change our household registration to Beijing. Now, isn't that a huge stroke of good luck? Chapter 840, I want to divorce you. _6. But your parents are stubborn. They absolutely refuse to agree to this marriage arrangement. Today they even went to sell their blood in order to gather 3,000 yuan to repay the Wu family. No wonder Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju looked so pale. They had gone to sell their blood. Wu Yinyun couldn't describe the taste in her heart. But she didn't want to marry Wu Chang. Wu Chang was old enough to be her father, and he even had 2 children. She wanted to go to school, she wanted to go to college. Wu Yinyun thumped to her knees. Grandma, please don't make me marry Wu Chang, okay? I don't want to marry Wu Chang, I want to study, and once I get into college, he'll lead our family to a better life. Grandma Wu looked at Wu Yinyun coldly, her words piercing. Don't you understand what I said? I'm not your grandma. You're just a child we picked up. Your parents have raised you until now, they've done their duty. Not only do you not think about repaying their kindness, you even want us to pay for your education. How can you be so shameless? She wasn't their own. She was picked up. She had no right to ask for these things. Wu Yinyun instantly ran out of words, with tears streaming down her face. Grandma Wu continued, Look at how poor our family is. Do you think we have money for you to go to school? To let you go to school, Dalong and Erlong have never even set foot in a school. Your parents even went to sell their blood to raise money. Can't you see all this? They don't share a single drop of blood relation with you, yet they've done so much. Don't you feel moved at all? Don't you want to repay their kindness? Repay their kindness? Her parents had raised her for so long, she certainly should repay them. Grandma Wu sighed. That small Western-style house with a yard up ahead, your parents couldn't afford it even if they worked for 20 years, but you just need to nod and that house could be ours. It's just marriage, isn't it? Which girl doesn't get married? Besides, you owe the Wu family. If it weren't for me, you would have died long ago. The grass over your grave would be 2 meters tall. If you're a sensible good child, you'll go talk to your parents yourself. Tell them you're willing to marry Wu Chang, that no one is forcing you. Don't make it difficult for your parents. They're already not in good health, and they actually went to sell their blood today. What if something happens to them? Can you live with your conscience? At this moment, Wu Yinyun had no way to refuse Grandma Wu. Grandma Wu was right, she had been a burden on the whole family, she should repay their kindness. I understand, Grandma. Grandma Wu glanced at Wu Yinyun. Now that you understand, be happy about it. Look at you, looking like you want to die, as if someone is forcing you. Wu Yinyun wiped her tears, trying hard to squeeze out a semblance of a smile. Grandma Wu continued, Wu Chang and his mother will come over for a meal tomorrow. Remember to make a good impression. MHM. And, Grandma Wu seemed to remember something. I heard from Dalong that some rich lady gave you 2 bags of new clothes, right? MHM. Grandma Wu said, since you're going to marry Wu Chang anyway and the Wu family is so rich, what kind of clothes can't you wear? Just leave those clothes for Lianhua. Lianhua was Wu Jinjin's eldest daughter, the same age as Wu Yinyun this year. Okay, Wu Yinyun nodded. Alright, you can go back. Tell your parents about this first thing tomorrow morning, Grandma Wu instructed. Remember, no one is forcing you, it's your own decision to marry Wu Chang. And don't let your parents know that you already know you were picked up. If they find out, they'll think I've been saying things behind their backs. MHM. Wu Yinyun nodded tearfully. The next morning, Wu Yinyun got up early to prepare breakfast. After eating, she said, Dad, Mom, the Wu family is coming over today. You want leave, will you? Yen Erji's eyes reddened. Xiaoyan, do you already know? I know, Wu Yinyun nodded. Yen Erju hugged Wu Yinyun tight. Xiaoyan, don't worry, we definitely won't let you marry that Wu Chang. Your parents will find a way to gather the 3,000 yuan. If we must, we'll take out a high-interest loan. The couple had not wanted to tell Wu Yinyun about this matter, out of fear it would burden her psychologically, but Wu Yinyun had found out anyway. Wu Yinyun smiled and said, Mom, I want to marry Wu Chang. What did you say? Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju exclaimed in unison, almost thinking they had misheard. Chapter 841. I want to divorce you. _7 Wu Yinyun continued, Mom and Dad, it was my own decision to marry Wu Chang. I went to the matchmaking session by myself. Even though Wu Chang is a bit older, his family is well off. Marrying him wouldn't be a loss. Yen Erju responded, Xiaoyan, did your grandma force you? Don't worry, with Mom and Dad here, no one can bully you. Wu Jinshu hastily nodded, Yinyun, your parents are here. You don't need to be afraid. Whatever the difficulty, our whole family will face it together. Pretending to be relaxed, Wu Yinyun said, it's truly voluntary and it has nothing to do with Grandma. Wu Chang is such a catch. Many people want to marry him but can't even reach him. Xiaoyun. Yen Erju was in tears now. Xiaoyun, don't you still need to go to school? You can't marry Wu Chang, he already has 2 children. I want to support you through university. I don't want you to be someone else's stepmother. Mom, don't cry, Wu Yinyun said with a smile. Being a scholar is useless, what's the use of studying so much? It would be better to marry earlier. Meeting someone like Wu Chang isn't easy. I've made up my mind, I want to marry him. Whatever you two say, I'll still marry him. You both better get ready, Wu Chang's family will be here soon. I'm going to wash the dishes. With that, Wu Yinyun hurried with the dishes to the kitchen. Without another word, Yen Erju went straight to Wu Grandma's room. Beyond caring, she burst out scolding, You old hag. Was it you? Did you say something to Xiaoyun? You heartless old hag. You will go to hell. Wu Grandma, holding her cane, came out of the room. Her mouth is her own, what can I possibly say for her? Yen Erju, today is a great day for the Wu family, I can let this slide. Yen Erju, furious, Wu Yinyun, hearing the commotion, immediately ran out from the kitchen, threw her arms around Yen Erju. Mom, don't be rash, I really am doing this voluntarily. It has nothing to do with Grandma. I want to marry Wu Chang. If you don't agree, I'll go to Wu Chang's house myself. Wu Grandma scoffed, Heard what your daughter said? Just like a shrew. Our family bringing you in has been unfortunate for generations. Around 10 in the morning, Wu Chang, his mother, and Wu Lan arrived punctually, accompanied by Wu Jinjin. Wu Jinjin with a smile, Yinyun, come out, important people have arrived at our house. Seeing the dilapidated Wu family home, Wu mother covered her nose contemptuously, this place is really a mess. No wonder they are selling their daughter. Wu Yinyun immediately came out from inside, smiling, come in and have a seat. Upon seeing Wu Yinyun, Wu Chang's eyes stuck on her as if glued. Wu Jinjin looked at Wu Yinyun, where are your parents? Just then Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju came out of the house. You must be Wu Chang's mother, right? We don't sell our daughter. Xiaoyun definitely won't marry into your family. Please leave. Well, find a way to return that 3,000 yuan dowry. Wu mother was taken aback, then said, You want to call off the marriage? Then bring 6,000 yuan. 6,000. Wu Jinshu's face turned pale, shocked. Wasn't it 3,000? Wu mother pulled out a contract from her pocket. It's written clearly here, black on white, backing out costs double the penalty. Either compensate us or marry off your daughter. Seems like today's meal won't happen. But let me leave these words here, tomorrow is a good day, either marry off your daughter or pay 6,000 yuan. Wu mother was a shrewd person. she doesn't engage in losing deals. After speaking, Wu mother left with Wu Chang. Wu Jinjin hurriedly followed, offering appeasement. Mother-in-law, please don't go. We're supposed to be uniting families, not causing disputes. My brother didn't mean anything by it, please don't be angry. Wu Jinjin knew Wu Jinshu wouldn't have the 6,000 yuan to give to Wu mother, so she desperately tried to smooth things over. Being on good terms with the wealthy Wu family could only benefit her. In fact, Wu Jinshu indeed didn't have 6,000 yuan to give to Wu mother. Even 3,000 yuan was a struggle, let alone 6,000. Yan Erju sat on the ground looking up at Wu Jinshu. Jinshu, maybe we should just take the kids and run. Okay. Wu Jinshu thought it was a solution. I'll go pack our things right now. Let's leave tonight. Upon hearing that the couple wanted to flee, Grandma Wu was frantic. If they ran off, what would happen to the small Western-style house? She hadn't moved into the small Western-style house yet. Wu Yinyun said, Mom and Dad, I'm willing to marry Wu Chang. Given our family's current situation, where can we run? Leaving here, you and Dad won't even be able to find decent jobs. We would starve. Moreover, under these circumstances, the local authorities certainly won't issue us a proof of residence letter, and without it, where can we run? It was an era of restricted travel, where everyone needed introduction letters for long journeys, otherwise they would be deemed undocumented migrants. Upon hearing this, Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju looked completely disheartened. Grandma Wu was overjoyed. Yan Erju hugged Wu Yinyun tightly. Xiaoyun, my daughter, my poor daughter. Wu Yinyun, holding Yan Erju, said, Mom, I'm doing this voluntarily. After marrying Wu Chang, I won't have to do anything. Just be a rich wife, I'm not pitiful at all. Wu Jinshu was also wiping away tears from behind. In the blink of an eye, it was the next day. They were about to move to the small Western-style house, and Grandma Wu was very happy. She had cut many Shi characters overnight and posted them in every corner of the Wu family house. Wu Erlong asked curiously, Grandma, is big sister getting married? Yes, Grandma Wu nodded happily. Wu Erlong didn't say anything and turned to run to the room. Big sister, are you getting married? Wu Yinyun nodded. Big sister, I don't want you to get married. I don't want you to get married. Wu Erlong hugged Wu Yinyun tightly. Wu Yinyun smiled and said, Silly boy, girls have to get married when they reach the right age. Wu Erlong then ran to find Yan Erju. Mom, I don't want big sister to get married. Big sister doesn't want to get married. I heard her crying last night. Mom, please don't marry her off, okay? Yan Erju's eyes, already swollen, instantly reddened and she wept uncontrollably. Wu Dalong ran over and pulled Wu Erlong away. Erlong, come with me. Wu Erlong cried, Big sister is getting married and you still feel like playing. Are you even big sister's brother? The usually naive Wu Dalong seemed to have grown up overnight. I know why big sister has to get married. It's because Grandma took the money from the landlord's sister's brother, those people who came yesterday. Erlong, let's go find Sister Yang Yang, okay? Didn't Sister Yang Yang tell us last time to come to her if we have any troubles? Sister Yang Yang will definitely have a way to stop big sister from getting married. Wu Erlong nodded, okay. Let's go find Sister Yang Yang. But I don't remember the way to Sister Yang Yang's house. Wu Dalong said, No worries, I have a good memory, I know the way. Chapter 842. Yang Yang giving life lessons online. Hearing that Wu Dalong knew the way to Ni Yang's house, Wu Erlong was overjoyed. He quickly grabbed Wu Dalong's hand as if he had grasped the last straw for salvation. Let's go, then we must find Sister Yang Yang quickly. Hand in hand, the brothers ran swiftly towards the Zheng family's direction. The atmosphere in the Wu family's courtyard was very oppressive, and ironically, the door was covered with many happiness characters. Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju sat in the living room wiping away their tears. They were just simple peasants. Faced with this kind of situation, they had no idea what to do. Grandma Wu came in from outside. Stop crying. It's a bad omen to wipe tears on a joyous day. Yinyun isn't just your daughter. She's my granddaughter too. Would I, as her grandmother, harm her? Harm her? Yan Erju said angrily. Isn't selling her off to be someone else's stepmother harming her? Is there any grandmother as cruel as you in the world? Wu Jinshu let out a deep sigh. His mother indeed hadn't had an easy life. She became a widow at 28, and the year his father died he was 10 and Wu Jinjin was only 6. During the year of the Great Famine he didn't know how his mother had survived. By rights he should have been able to understand his mother, but he just couldn't. She was someone who had gone through so many hardships. Now that life had barely become a bit easier, why couldn't she just live peacefully? Mother, Do you really have to turn our home upside down and destroy our family before you can be happy? Wu Jinshu looked at Grandma Wu with eyes filled with disappointment. Old Mother was dialect from their hometown, and since coming to Beijing he seldom referred to Grandma Wu that way. Grandma Wu gave Wu Jinshu a withering look. Today is a big happy day for Yenyun. I don't want to argue with you. And I don't want to quarrel, lest we become the laughingstock of others. You may hate me today, but perhaps after moving into the small Western-style house tomorrow, you will be grateful to me. Don't think I don't know, in fact you are just putting on an act. Deep down you're hoping to marry Yenyun off to Wu Chang. Who wouldn't want to live in such a fine house? Don't pretend to be virtuous after getting the benefits. After all, Yenyun wasn't the biological child of Yen Erju and Wu Jinshu. Grandma Wu didn't believe they would be so heartbroken over a wild girl whose background was unknown. In an era where even a full meal was difficult to come by, a girl being able to exchange for so many good things would have many parents eager to send their daughters there without getting the chance. Hearing this, Yen Erju grabbed a teacup used for drinking water and threw it. Shut up. Shut up. Crash. The teacup shattered as it hit the ground. You dare to think like that, yet you're afraid of others saying it? Grandma Wu said. Erju. Wu Jinshu embraced Yen Erju tightly. Calm down, let's think of a solution together. I definitely won't let Yenyun marry over. Definitely not. The couple wept together with their heads in their arms. Grandma Wu glanced at the couple and then walked towards Yenyun's room. Yenyun was really sitting by the bed, crying with her head down. Hearing footsteps, she quickly wiped her tears and looked towards the door. Grandma. Grandma Wu hummed in acknowledgement and walked in, expressing her discontent. You agreed to marry Wu Chang willingly, and now you're wiping tears and putting on an act. Who are you performing for? Are you trying to sow discord? Do you want your parents to hate this old woman to death? It's not. I didn't. Yenyun hurriedly explained. She didn't blame anyone. She just wanted to cry, really wanted to cry, and couldn't hold back her tears at all. She still had a university dream after all. Grandma Wu walked over to Yenyun and handed her 2 red hair ropes. When I got married, I didn't even have red hair ropes. These are specially bought for you by your aunt. Thank you, Auntie. Yenyun reached out to take the red hair ropes. Grandma Wu looked around the room and then asked, Where are your new clothes? What? Yenyun was taken aback and didn't catch on. Stop playing dumb. Grandma Wu looked at Yenyun, raising her voice. The new clothes that rich lady gave you, I heard there were 2 big bags of them. Didn't you say you were going to give them to Lianhua? It was because Grandma Wu said Yenyun had 2 big bags of new clothes that Wu Jinjin had been generous for once, bringing 2 old hair ropes for Yenyun. Yenyun, where was she in the mood to think about those 2 bags of new clothes now? Only when Grandma Wu mentioned it did she remember those 2 bags of clothes. The clothes in the bags were all given by Enai Tsuehua. There were 2 pieces she had tried on which looked very pretty. Wearing them she felt like a city person. Chapter 843. Yang Yang giving life lessons online _2. When Wu Yenyun didn't speak for a long time, Grandma Wu got angry. You ungrateful girl. Where are the clothes? Where are the clothes? Our old Wu family has really raised a white-eyed wolf. You don't have a shred of gratitude. You will go and live a good life at Wu Chang's place in the future. Do you still care about those 2 new outfits? I raised you, and that's certainly worth more than those 2 bags of clothes. Wu Yenyun was numb by now. She walked behind the bed, took out the 2 bags of new clothes and handed them to Grandma Wu. Seeing the new clothes, Grandma Wu's face looked slightly more pleased as she continued, Is this all? MHM. Wu Yenyun nodded her head. Did you hide any? Grandma Wu somewhat disbelieved Wu Yenyun. No. Really none. Such nice clothes, she just couldn't believe Wu Yenyun didn't keep any to herself. Really none. Grandma Wu placed the clothes on the table. No, I must search. Wu Yenyun sighed and did not stop Grandma Wu. The room was small, separated into 2 sections, with only a bed and a broken cabinet. Grandma Wu searched thoroughly and finally satisfied that Wu Yenyun had hidden nothing, she took the 2 bags of clothes and left. She specifically left through the side door. If she had left through the front door, she surely would have been seen by Wu Jinshu and his wife, Yen Erju. Wu Jinjin was already waiting for Grandma Wu in her bedroom. Wu Jinjin was the instigator of this situation and did not dare show her face in front of Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju. What if they decided to act ruthlessly? Mom? When she saw Grandma Wu enter, Wu Jinjin immediately stood up. Are these the new clothes you were talking about? MHM. Grandma Wu nodded her head and handed the bag to Wu Jinjin. Wu Jinjin was like a hungry wolf spotting a lamb, her eyes sparkling as she took the bag and dumped out all the clothes, exclaiming continuously, "Oh my! Oh my! These clothes are all imported. I saw this one in the department store, it was over 100 yuan. These clothes were all new, the tag still hadn't been removed. I think I can wear this dress." Wu Jinjin picked up a lace-edged dress and held it up against herself. "Then I'm keeping this one." Wu Jinjin was not tall. On Wu Yenyun it was a short skirt, but on her, it became a long dress which looked very uncoordinated. But she had never seen anything so fine and felt that wearing this dress would turn her into a glamour girl from a big poster. Grandma Wu continued, "You're so happy now, but your brother and your sister-in-law are furious with me. Especially your brother, he is really unfilial. I've worked so hard to raise him and he even calls me a crazy old woman saying I'm sick." "What?" Wu Jinjin immediately put down the clothes in her hand. "My brother dares to say that about you?" "That's right," Grandma Wu continued, "and your Yen Erju is just another outsider. She even dared to come at me with a kitchen knife wanting to kill me. Tell me, what bad karma have I created?" Grandma Wu had been holding back her anger for days, and now with Wu Jinjin there, she surely wanted to vent. Hearing this, Wu Jinjin was furious. "Mom, my brother is really too much. You've worked so hard to raise him and this is how he treats you. Even a dog knows to wag its tail in gratitude. Besides, you're only doing it for him and his wife. I tell you, you've raised a son for someone else. Don't expect him to take care of you in future. If you grow old and can't walk, he probably won't even glance at you." Grandma Wu's brows quivered as Wu Jinjin spoke. She was already over 60, and it wasn't long before she wouldn't be able to walk. She was afraid Wu Jinshu would neglect her in the future. Given the recent events, it was very likely that Wu Jinshu would indeed neglect her. Wu Jinjin continued, "Mom, don't worry, you still have a good daughter. If my brother won't take care of you, I will in the future. Isn't there still 1900 yuan by your side? I think you should give me that money just in case my brother and his wife trick you out of it. And that little Western-style house, I don't think you should give it to my brother anymore, give it to me instead. Our house is too small and you can rest assured it'll give you the best room to live in, it'll take good care of you. You see, I even scrape off a bit of meat from my own mouth to give to you. What has my brother given you? Not only does he give you nothing, but this time he's also made such a huge fight with you." Grandma Wu was very tempted by what Wu Jinjin said. Chapter 844, Yang giving life lessons online _3. Her son had failed her expectations, but she could still rely on her daughter. "Right, you're right. I can't count on that ungrateful son of mine anymore. That small Western-style house in front will be yours, but I'm keeping the money for myself." Grandma Wu was no fool, she wouldn't hand over the money just like that. That was her retirement fund. "So, Mom, you agree?" Wu Jinjin was overjoyed. It was a 2-story Western-style house, and Wu Jinjin almost thought she was hallucinating. After all, in Grandma Wu's eyes, boys were always the most important. Grandma Wu nodded, "Take it and let your brother regret his actions. Every time I think about what he's done these past few days, it makes me uncomfortable. I've struggled so hard to raise him and in the end I've raised an enemy." Just then some significant noise came from the doorway. Wu Jinjin said, "It's Wu Chang and the others." Grandma Wu immediately stood up, "Then let's hurry out to meet them." "Right." On the other side, Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong were panting heavily as they ran to the Zheng family's home. Normally, Ai Yen wouldn't be home at this time, but coincidentally she was just about to leave the house when she saw the two brothers. "Dalong Xiaolong, what brings you here? Where's your elder sister?" Wu Dalong burst into tears, "Sister Yang, only you can save my elder sister now." And Ai Yen was shocked. "What's going on?" "Don't rush, take your time to explain." Wu Dalong cried so hard he could barely catch his breath. He didn't intend to cry, but he couldn't help it when he saw Ai Yang. Seeing Wu Dalong like this, Wu Erlong said, "Sister Yang, please go save my elder sister. She's about to get married." "Get married? How could she suddenly be getting married?" And Ai Yang frowned slightly. She had seen Wu Yenyun just 2 days ago and had heard nothing about this. "Let's go to your house now and you can tell me on the way." And Ai Yang took Wu Dalong by one hand and Wu Erlong by the other and headed for the door. After a few steps, Ai Yang realized walking was too slow, so she went back with the two children. "Let's take a car." They called the driver and all rushed to the Wu family's home. It was Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong's first time in a sedan. Under normal circumstances they would have been curious, but today they didn't have time for that. In the car, Ai Yang roughly understood the situation. Wu Yanyun's parents were good, but her grandmother might not be. The Zheng family and Wu family were 3 kilometers apart, a 15-minute drive but much longer by foot. Dalong Erlong, how did you get here? Anai Yang asked. Wu Erlong cried, Sister Yang, we ran here. Can we please hurry up? I'm afraid I won't see my elder sister again when I get back. Only then did Anai Yang notice that the brothers were sweating profusely, and Wu Dalong had even scraped a big gash in his knee. These kids really weren't having an easy time. Anai Yang hurriedly urged the driver, Uncle Lu, please go faster. The driver reluctantly said, Miss, there are too many people on the road today. It's usually not this crowded, no idea what's happening today. Anai Yang continued, Uncle Lu, let me do it. The driver thought he had misheard. Miss, what did you say? I'll drive. Anai Yang had quite enjoyed driving in her previous life, so she was skilled at it. The driver never expected Anai Yang could drive, let alone that she could drive so well. A woman driving was truly a rare sight back in the day. Wu Jinjin and Grandma Wu walked outside, and indeed Wu Chang had come for the wedding procession. It wasn't just Wu Chang, his mother, Wu Lan, and other relatives from the Wu family were there, but the young men smoking at the front clearly meant trouble. These were local ruffians Wu Lan had roped in to intimidate Wu Yenyun and Erju. The relatives are here, Grandma Wu said with a sycophantic smile. Wu Lan somewhat looked down on this old lady. If Jinshu and Erju had willingly married into their family, that would be one thing, but clearly the two were opposed. She prided herself on her dignity and disliked making others uncomfortable, but Wu Chang was too fond of Wu Yenyun. For her son's sake, she felt she had no choice. Where's Yenyun? Wu Lan asked. Grandma Wu replied, she's inside. Jinjin, go bring Yenyun out. Okay. Wu Jinjin immediately headed inside. Just then, Erju and Jinshu walked out from inside, blocking Wu Jinjin's way. Chapter 845. Yang giving life lessons online _4. Wu Jinjin said with a smile, Brother and sister-in-law, on this joyful day, what do you want to do? Let me take Yenyun out. Wu Jinshu looked at his somewhat unfamiliar sister. This is the Wu family. It's not the turn of a married girl to be the head of the family. Our Yenyun still needs to study, go to college, she cannot get married. Wu Jinjin speechlessly said, Brother, what are you talking about? Are you still confused at this time? Mother Wu looked at Wu Chang. Xiangzi, go and greet your father-in-law and mother-in-law quickly. Oh sure. Wu Chang was dressed festively today with a red flower pinned to his chest, smoothly pulling out 2 large red envelopes from his pocket. Mom and Dad, here's a little something from your son-in-law, please accept it with a smile. Yen Erju and Wu Jinshu of course wouldn't take it. Wu Chang's hand just stiffened in midair. Wu Jinjin, seeing this, reached out and took the red envelopes. Xiangzi, since my brother and sister-in-law are too shy to accept, let me take it on their behalf. Wu Jinshu looked at Wu Chang. Comrade Wu Chang, our Yenyun is only 17 this year, she is still young. She can't marry you, please understand the hearts of us as parents. Upon hearing this, Wu Chang's face instantly turned ugly. He had come today to claim his bride, not to listen to Wu Jinshu say all this. Just then Mother Wu stood up. Then please understand the heart of me as a mother. The bride price was taken, the agreement signed, the house demanded, and now you're calling it off. Where in the world does this make any sense? I'm telling you, my son isn't lacking potential wives, he's quite eligible. Countless young girls dream of marrying him. It was your family's old lady who personally took Yenyun to meet suitors. From beginning to end we haven't troubled you once, and now you act like this. Who are you showing off for? Wu Jinjin pocketed the red envelopes. In-laws, please don't be angry, my brother and sister-in-law didn't mean it like that. Wu Jinshu strode over and slapped Wu Jinjin across the face. You shut up. Wu Jinjin was stunned by the slap. Wu Jinshu continued, Comrade, we are both parents, I understand you and I hope you can understand me too. We as parents were unaware of this situation from the beginning. Had we known, we would have never allowed Yenyun to marry. Yenyun is only 17 this year, she still needs to continue her studies. Mother Wu nodded. All right, I'm not unreasonable. Since you want to call off the marriage, just bring out 6,000 yuan. At these words Wu Jinshu sighed. I don't have 6,000 yuan right now, comrade, can you be flexible? I can write you an IOU. Rest assured we will definitely repay this money. Grandma Wu heard this and felt trouble brewing. No, she could not let Wu Jinshu write an IOU to Mother Wu. She still wanted to live in that small Western-style house. Grandma Wu quickly intervened. An IOU? 6,000 yuan is not 6 yuan. Our family can hardly scrape together 600 yuan, let alone 6,000 yuan. Mother-in-law, please don't accept his IOU, he can't pay it back. Wu Jinshu clenched his teeth and said, then he'll go sell my blood. Sell organs. Rest assured, my wife and I will definitely repay this 6,000 yuan. Just then Wu Yenyun burst out of the house. Mom and Dad, I don't want you to sell blood or organs. I'll marry. I'm willing to marry Wu Chang. 17 years ago, if not for her parents, she would have already died. Repaying them now was the least she could do. What was marrying after all? Wu Chang's family was in such good condition, she should be content. Mother Wu said with a smile. See, isn't everyone happy now? Grandma Wu also relaxed. Xiao Yun. Yen Erju held Wu Yanyun's hand. No, I won't let you marry. Mom, I'm fine. Fearing that Yen Erju would worry, Wu Yenyun kept a smile on her face. I am willing to marry Wu Chang, I really am. Mother Wu came over, broke up the two hands and pushed Wu Yenyun to Wu Chang's side. Big sister, if you ask me, you should respect the child's wishes. Rest assured, Yenyun won't be mistreated marrying into our family. Just look at the life your family leads. Is that really fit for people? She can only have good fortune with us. Seeing how cooperative Wu Yenyun was, Mother Wu was significantly relieved. Selling organs sounds easy, but could you two really go sell organs? Not to be blunt, but what if you both died on the operating table? How could Yenyun be at peace afterwards? Moreover, you two still have 3 children. Who will provide for those 3 children in the future? Chapter 846. Yang giving life lessons online _5. Wu's mother patted Yen Erju's back. Big sister, you can rest assured Yenyun won't suffer with us. No, I can't sell my daughter, I can't sell my daughter no matter what. Yen Erju cried inconsolably. Wu's mother laughed. This is marrying off a daughter, not selling one. I can't marry her off, I can't marry her off. Yen Erju shouted, Jinshu, bring Xiaoyan back. Hurry. Only then did Wu Jinshu react, wiping away her tears and going to pull Wu Yenyun. Wu Chang immediately blocked in front of Wu Yenyun. Wu's mother made a gesture with her eyes to several men from the community. They immediately took control of Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju. Wu's mother turned to Wu Chang. What are you dawdling for? Get your bride back home now. Oh, okay. The crackling sounds of firecrackers rose, drowning out the cries of Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju. Wu's mother was a person of status, and for today's wedding procession she had specially rented a Santana, with a dozen bicycles following behind. With one hand Wu Chang led Wu Yenyun and with the other he opened the car door. Wu Yenyun looked back at her parents, then with a heavy heart, got into the car. Seeing that Wu Yenyun was in the car, they only then released Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju. Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju immediately rushed out, sprinting behind the car. Yenyun? Xiaoyun. Wu Yenyun looked back at them from inside the car, and before she knew it she was also in tears. The car was fast, but Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju did not give up, falling and getting up again, a sight so heart-wrenching to watch. Stop the car now. Wu Yenyun knocked on the rear window. Don't worry Yenyun, I will treat you well in the future. Wu Chang patted Wu Yenyun's hand. Wu Yenyun could not care less about anything else and cried, I'm begging you, can you just stop the car? Wu Chang looked up at Wu's mother. Wu's mother flatly refused. No. The bride cannot go back the way she came. Just bad luck. Wu Chang said, Mom says no, so let's just forget it. That's when, screech. A sound of urgent braking ripped through the air. Everyone in the car lurched forward from the sudden momentum, their bodies crashing heavily towards the front. What's happening? Wu's mother looked at the driver. The driver himself was quite frightened. There's someone blocking the road. Perhaps they're after wedding candies? Many people, in order to get a lucky share, would intercept wedding cars, asking for wedding candies, peanuts and such. Wu's mother said, You all stay put. I'll go and take a look. Wu's mother opened the car door and stepped out to see an imported car blocking their way. They didn't seem like they were here for wedding candies. Just then the car door opened and a slender figure emerged from inside. Backlit, her face was somewhat difficult to make out. Wu's mother squinted her eyes, her temples throbbing furiously. Why did she feel? This person seemed to bear ill will? Wu's mother felt a panicky retreat, stepping many paces backward. The figure approached closer, and the face previously hidden in sunlight gradually became visible. It was a very beautiful and bold set of features. As clear and pure as snow. Are you Wu Chang's mother? An Yang stopped in front of Wu's mother. Wu's mother swallowed hard. Yes, I am. This young lady couldn't be more than 17 or 18 years old, but Wu's mother felt the nerves one has when a subordinate meets a superior leader in front of her. That kind of awe was emanating from deep within, impossible to suppress. "Where is Yenyun?" Ai Yang continued. Inside the car, when Wu Yenyun saw Ai Yang, somehow her heart, which had been suspended, suddenly relaxed at that moment. That feeling was like someone who had been blind for a long time suddenly seeing sunlight. Disregarding Wu Chang's attempt to stop her, Wu Yenyun opened the car door and stepped out. "Yang Yang." "Yenyun." Ai Yang smiled faintly. "Big sister." Wu Erlong burst out of the car hugging Wu Yenyun. Wu Dalong, following Ai Yang's instructions, ran back to pick up the youngest brother. Wu's mother's frown deepened. "Yenyun, why did you get out of the car? Get back in quickly." "You have no right to tell Yenyun to get back in the car." Ai Yang spoke indifferently. Wu's mother declared confidently, "Yenyun is our Wu family's daughter-in-law, how do I not have the right? Changzi, get out of the car and bring your bride up. A big man like you, can't even keep a hold of your own bride." Wu Chang immediately got out of the car. Wu Yenyun instinctively hid behind Ai Yang. Seeing that things didn't look right, Wu Lan quietly slipped away, planning to bring Wu Jinjin and Grandma over. Chapter 847, Yang Yang giving life lessons online _6. Fortunately, the Wu family wasn't far away. "Yenyun, hurry back with me. Don't make Mom angry or he'll beat you up." Wu Chang waved his fist at Wu Yenyun. But before his hand reached Wu Yenyun, his knee was suddenly racked with intense pain, and in an instant Wu Chang was kneeling on the ground. Wu's mother's face paled. "You, how could you hit someone? Changzi, are you okay? Do you have no regard for the law? I'm telling you, I'm going to call the police." Ai Yang smiled faintly. "You can kidnap someone in broad daylight, so why can't I hit someone? Besides, the person who swung first was your son. Legally, this is self-defense." "How is it kidnapping? Wu Yenyun is our daughter-in-law who we paid 3,000 yuan to marry. The kidnapper is you." Wu's mother pulled out the agreement from her pocket. "Do you see this? It's clearly written in black and white on this agreement." Just then Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju rushed over from behind. Yan Erju said, "We didn't take her dowry money, not a single cent. We don't sell our daughter." Wu's mother's complexion turned white again, furious. "From what you're saying, you want to deny the debt? Don't think just because you have someone backing you that you can deny the debt." Ai Yang spoke calmly, "Don't rush to anger. I'm a reasonable person. As I know, the person who took this money isn't aunt and uncle, right? The person who took the dowry money is me." Suddenly, an elderly voice sounded from behind. Wu's grandmother and Wu Jinjin squeezed through the crowd. "Who is this little girl meddling in our family's business?" Wu Jinjin quickly laughed it off. "In-law mother, don't be angry, we don't know this little girl." Hearing that Ai Yang was unrelated to the Wu family, Wu's mother breathed a sigh of relief. An outsider wanting to stand up for Wu Yenyun? Difficult. From what Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong said earlier, Ai Yang guessed that they must be Wu Yenyun's aunt and grandmother. Who knew these two were such characters, selling off Yenyun and yet acting so righteous? Ai Yang nodded slightly. "Oh, so it's you who took the money. Then the person who put their fingerprint on it is also you?" "Of course it's me." Wu's grandmother said, "I'm Yenyun's grandmother. Traditionally, a marriage is arranged by parents. Whomever I decide she should marry, she will." Ai Yang smiled. "So you know about parental commands and arranged marriages. Have you forgotten your role?" Wu's grandmother choked and retorted, "Who is this little girl? Our Wu family affairs are none of your business." Ai Yang turned her gaze to Wu's grandmother. "Not long ago, I just recognized your brother and sister-in-law as my godparents. As her sister, shouldn't I intervene when Yenyun is treated this way?" Her tone was calm yet carried an indescribable force that made Wu's grandmother shiver inwardly. Wu Yenyun looked at Ai Yang in surprise, tears suddenly appearing. This feeling of having someone to rely on. It was indescribable in words. Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju were also surprised, but beyond the surprise they felt grateful. Blessed by heaven. Finally, someone was willing to stand up for their family. Knowing Ai Yang was not someone to be trifled with and not wanting to escalate the situation, Wu's mother conceded, "Fine. Since you want to involve yourself in this, then compensate us 6,000 yuan. Otherwise, you're not taking her with you today." 3,000 had turned into 6,000, but when she thought about it carefully, she wasn't at a loss. Though Grandma Wu was somewhat reluctant, she didn't say much more. If Ai Yang paid the 6,000 yuan, she'd still have 1,900 left. And from Ai Yang's attire, it was clear she wasn't just anybody. Could Ni Yang afford the 6,000 yuan and still worry about the cost of a small Western-style house? By then she would definitely be able to afford a small Western-style house. Auntie, you don't seem old but you certainly talk big, Ni Yang looked at Wu's mother. So, do you think you can still restrict Yanyan's freedom? Wu's mother, holding the agreement, said, do you think you can still deny the debt? Smiling, Ni Yang responded, would you like to see whose signature is on this agreement? There's an owner for every debt. Find whoever signed it and ask them for the money. Wu's mother retorted, young lady, so you want to argue, huh? Take a good look, it clearly says here that this is Yanyan's betrothal money. If you don't pay, who will? Ni Yang turned to Grandma Wu, the person who fingerprinted it is her, you should tell her this. Hearing this, Grandma Wu was so frightened that she clutched her pocket tightly. She had no intention of paying. Ni Yang was so wealthy and also Yanyan's sworn sister. She ought to cover this expense for Yanyun and then compensate her with a small Western-style house. Wu's mother was about to explode with anger when Ni Yang leaned forward slightly, casting a large shadow over her. A gentle voice then whispered in her ear, Auntie, let me remind you that Yanyun is still a minor. If this goes to the police station, it might even lead to human trafficking charges against you. This written agreement is the evidence. From what I understand, the buyer usually gets a harsher sentence than the seller. The last sentence, though spoken evenly, visibly paled Wu's mother's face. She had calculated everything except the fact that Yanyun was not yet of age. Suddenly, the agreement in black and white became a hot potato. As Ni Yang finished her sentence and straightened up with a smile on her face, she clapped her hands. Auntie, there's evidence in this black and white text. It seems the debtors are Wu Jinjin and Wu's missus, right? Remember to ask them for the money. If they don't pay, go ahead and call the police to arrest them. Wu's mother was momentarily unable to comprehend what she had heard. Whose side was Ni Yang on exactly? Wasn't she here to help Yanyun? Then why was she asking her to get the money from Grandma Wu and Wu Jinjin? Weren't Grandma Wu and Wu Jinjin part of Yanyun's family? After speaking, Ni Yang leaned in and whispered something else to Wu's mother. Wu's mother nodded. After finishing, Ni Yang waved at Wu's mother. Goodbye, Auntie. Remember to ask them for the money. Just then Wu Dalong came over carrying Xiaolong and Ni Yang called out, Godfather, Godmother, Yanyun, Dalong, Erlong, let's get in the car. When Grandma Wu and Wu Jinjin saw everyone boarding the luxurious sedan, they panicked. Everyone was getting in so they had to as well. One was Yanyun's grandmother, the other his aunt. It made no sense for Yanyun's family of 6 to go enjoy themselves without them. Just as the two women were about to follow, Wu's mother stopped them. You two need to pay back the money first. Crying, Grandma Wu said, I don't have any money. Let Yanyun's sworn sister pay, she's rich. Wu's mother firmly replied, I don't care. They'll go after whoever owes the money. It's your 2 fingerprints pressed on this. Chapter 848. Times Create Heroes. A gentleman on the beam seeing her mother demanding money, Grandma Wu immediately resorted to her specialty. She sat on the ground and started throwing a tantrum, crying and wailing. But Wu's mother wasn't someone to be trifled with. During her years as a street director, what kind of troublemaker hadn't she seen? You throwing a tantrum with me won't work. Debt repayment is a matter of principle. It was you who took the money, the thumbprints are yours and your daughter's. Today either pay up or go to jail for 8 liang. Wu Jinjin was startled. She definitely didn't want to go to prison. She was uneducated and lacked culture. Unaware that the agreement wasn't legally binding, she only knew that repaying debts was the natural order of things. Dear relatives, please don't be angry. Although the money was taken by my mother, it was meant for Yanyun's dowry. You should ask my brother and his wife for it. Their goddaughter is so rich, they surely won't miss these 6,000 yuan. Holding the agreement, Wu's mother said, these are your mother's and your thumbprints. If I report this to the police, they will only look for you too. Forget it, I don't want the 6,000 anymore. Just give me back 3,000. They'll just take the loss this time. It's impossible to get Grandma Wu to part with the money. Once the money was in her pocket, it was hers. I don't have any money. Grandma Wu clutched her pocket tightly, as if to say there wasn't 300 silver taels there. Wu's mother laughed. No money, is it? Well, I'll just report you to the police. Jiangzi, go to the police station right now and get this old shrew and the young one arrested. No pay, no freedom. You really think I can be easily fooled, huh? Wu Chang was a simpleton and hearing his mother's words, immediately pushed his bicycle, saying, all right, Mom, I'm on it. Wu Jinjin turned white with fear. Mom, please take the money out. I don't want to go to jail, I have elderly and young to care for, I don't want to go to jail. Seeing that Wu Chang was truly about to report to the police, Grandma Wu got scared too. At her ripe old age, she certainly didn't want to die in a cell. She immediately stood up from the ground and grabbed Wu Chang's bicycle. He'll pay back the money, just let it be. Wu's mother signaled to Wu Chang with her eyes, and he stopped his bicycle. Grandma Wu pulled out a shabby cloth pouch from her pocket, unwrapped it layer by layer to reveal the crisp blue-green 100 renminbi banknotes inside. She hadn't even warmed up this money before it swiftly became someone else's. As Wu's mother took the money from Grandma Wu, the old lady clutched the banknotes tightly. Wu's mother had to pull hard to retrieve them. After counting, she frowned. How come there's over 1,000 yuan missing? That 1,100 yuan had been spent on Wu Jinjin's bicycle and sewing machine, and Grandma Wu had used a dozen more to buy meat and new clothes. Grandma Wu said, that 1,000 was used to buy things. That's all I have left now. Hearing this, Wu Jinjin's heart skipped a beat. Her bicycle and sewing machine had only been bought a few days ago. She hadn't even learned to ride the bike, and she hadn't been willing to use the sewing machine yet. Wu's mother continued, then those things will compensate for the money. Wu Jinjin screamed, no way. I don't agree. Wu's mother turned to Wu Chang, Xiangzi, maybe you should visit the police station after all. Okay. Wu Chang nodded. Wu Jinjin rushed to hold Wu Chang's bike. Compensate? Well, compensate you. Wu's mother was secretly thrilled. She had thought she'd lost those 3,000 yuan for good when Wu Yinyun was still a minor, but to her surprise she managed to get it back. And it was all thanks to Anai Yang's tip. So, the procession set out to take the sewing machine and bicycle from Wu Jinjin's home. When they returned home, Wu's mother unceremoniously burned the agreement. After Wu's mother left, Grandma Wu sat in the empty courtyard, sobbing and wailing. Wu Jinjin sat beside her, joining in the crying. The mother and daughter had pinned their hopes on Wu Yinyun coming into a fortune, but in the end, it had all been in vain. After a good while of crying, Wu Jinjin gradually calmed down. Mom, don't cry. He's still your biological son after all. Now that they've recognized such a capable goddaughter, I refuse to believe he'll disown you, his own mother. At these words, Grandma Wu seemed to instantly find her backbone. Right. Jinjin, you're right. Wu Jinjin went on, besides, my brother and his wife still have their home here. I refuse to believe they'll abandon it altogether. When the time comes, you must enjoy the good life with them and don't forget about me. Grandma Wu patted Wu Jinjin's hand. Don't worry, Jinjin. With your brother's goddaughter being so rich, I won't let you down. Chapter 849. Times Create Heroes. A Gentleman on the Beam Underscrew. On the other side, the Wu family of 6 sat in the car. At that time, traffic management in Beijing was not as strict as in later years, so even if the car was overloaded, no one cared. The car sped quickly, sending dust flying everywhere. Sitting in the back seat, Yan Erju, frightened, said, Sister Yang Yang, where are you taking us? And Ai Yang smiled and said, Don't worry, godmother. You'll know when we get there. Godmother? Yan Erju was stunned. She thought Ai Yang was just pretending, but even on the car, Ai Yang still called her godmother. And Ai Yang continued, Yinyun and I have a special connection. I also really like the 3 brothers Wu Dalong, Erlong and Xiaolong. Godfather and godmother, if you don't mind, I would like to be your goddaughter from now on. Wu Jinshu, not expecting Ai Yang to say that, quickly said, We don't mind at all, Sister Yang Yang. I think your aunt and I haven't. Wu Jinshu hadn't even finished speaking when Ai Yang said, Since you don't mind, then from now on, you two are my godparents and Yinyun is my sister. Wu Dalong, Erlong and Xiaolong are my brothers. That's great. I like Sister Yang Yang. Wu Dalong blurted out. I like you too. And Ai Yang turned her gaze to Wu Yinyun and asked, Yinyun, what do you think? Wu Yinyun, sitting in the passenger seat, turned to Ai Yang and said, Sister Yang Yang. She was truly grateful to Ai Yang. If it hadn't been for Ai Yang today, she would have had to marry Wu Chang. Ai Yang smiled slightly. Soon, the car entered a community and beautifully swerved to stop in front of an apartment building. Ai Yang had bought many houses in the urban area before, and this apartment building was one of her properties. The house was simply furnished, but it had everything from pots and pans. Before Ai Tsuehua was back in Beijing, they occasionally stayed here for a few days. Godfather, godmother, someone comes regularly to clean here. Except for the utensils we've used, everything else is new. You can live here from now on, Ai Yang said. How could we possibly do that? Wu Jinshu exclaimed. Sister Yang Yang, this is your house. How could we live here? And I Yang, smiling, said, "Don't worry, Godfather. It's not like I'm giving you this house for free. They'll charge you 10 yuan rent each month. Anyway, it's vacant otherwise. When you're later financially stable and want to buy a place, I can sell this apartment to you." Although Ni Yang didn't care about this particular property, she knew Wu Jinshu and Yin Erju were honest people who wouldn't accept her gift without cause, hence she proposed renting it to them. The apartment had 4 rooms and 2 living rooms, and with 2 bathrooms, there was plenty of space for everyone in the Wu family. Wu Jinshu looked around the house. "Sister Yang, such a nice place and you only charge 10 yuan a month." Even though it was simply decorated, in Wu Jinshu's eyes it was extremely luxurious. The house had everything, even tile and wooden flooring. After all, even Wu Lan's basic mud house rented for 10 yuan a month. And Ni Yang said, "The house remains vacant anyway and I wouldn't feel comfortable renting it to strangers. Renting it to you and Godmother gives me peace of mind." With that, Wu Jinshu felt much relieved. And Ni Yang then said, "Godmother, look, there's a small yard in front of the first floor. You could plant some vegetables there when you're free." Yen Erju really liked the house, but she was still a bit embarrassed. "Sister Yang, the rent you're asking is too low." And Ni Yang, smiling, said, "We're not strangers after all. I couldn't rent this place out for a single cent when it's vacant." Wu Yinyun also liked this new home, but was concerned about Grandma Wu. "Now that we've all moved here, what about Grandma?" Wu Jinshu didn't say anything. Yen Erju was still upset. "Your grandma deserves it." Wu Yinyun continued, "But Grandma is so elderly now, and when we were leaving, Aunt Wu was still asking her for money." Even though her grandmother was willing to marry her off to Wu Chang, Wu Yinyun still felt a bit worried for her. Especially since she had found out she was not the biological daughter of Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju. Seeing Wu Yinyun like this, Ni Yang spoke bluntly, "Godmother is right, your grandma deserves it, it's her own fault. Your family's life isn't unbearable. She had a good life and chose not to live it, instead causing trouble. Have you ever thought about what would happen if you had married Wu Chang?" Chapter 850. Times Create Heroes. A Gentleman on the Beam _3. Ni Yang paused for a moment and then continued, "After marrying Wu Chang, you would transform from a young girl into a housewife, not only bearing children for Wu Chang but also acting as a stepmother to his 2 daughters. You are only 17 years old this year. If you don't marry Wu Chang, you can continue your studies, go to university, and have endless possibilities in the future. Your life was almost completely ruined by your grandmother's actions." Ni Yang's words were cutting, and Wu Yanyun's face changed, "But she is, after all, my grandmother." Upon hearing this, Ni Yang knew Wu Yinyun would definitely be soft-hearted towards Grandma Wu in the future. Knowing how manipulative Grandma Wu could be, if Wu Yinyun became soft-hearted, who knew what she might end up doing? No. It was essential to completely sever the notion Wu Yinyun held towards the Wu family. Ni Yang narrowed her eyes and continued, "Just because she's your grandmother, does that mean she can just sell you off to someone else to become a stepmother? Yinyun, if you think just because your grandmother is old, you should forgive all her faults, then you might as well go back and marry Wu Chang or even Zhao Chang. This time, I absolutely will not meddle anymore." Wu Yanyun's face went pale and she immediately explained, "No. Sister Yang, that's not what I mean. I wasn't suggesting you are meddling too much. I'm just a bit worried about her because she's getting old." Ni Yang remained calm. "Yinyun, everyone must take responsibility for their faults. Old age is not an excuse to escape responsibility. Your grandmother is only reaping what she sowed. Uncle, don't you think I'm right?" At that last sentence, Ni Yang looked up at Wu Jinshu. Wu Jinshu initially shared the same thoughts as Wu Yinyun. After all, that woman was his own mother and he couldn't just ignore her. But after listening to Ni Yang, he came to a sudden realization. Yes, old age should not be an excuse to avoid responsibilities. If it wasn't for Ni Yang today, Wu Yanyun's life would be ruined. Wu Jinshu nodded, "Yang is right." Seeing Wu Jinshu agree, Ni Yang sighed in relief, thinking he might have been foolishly filial. Wu Yanyun nodded, Yang, I understand now." Ni Yang then took out a stack of RMB from her bag. "Godfather, here is 4,000 yuan, consider it a loan from me." Since she had decided to help Wu Yinyun, Ni Yang was committed to supporting her all the way. Plus, Ni Yang was becoming more and more certain about the outcome she suspected. Although the results were not out yet. But she could see traces of Ni Qihua's past kindness and weakness in Wu Yinyun. She was still worried about Grandma Wu even after all the mistreatment she had received from her. Wu Jinshu hastily refused, Yang, you've already helped our family a lot, I can't accept this money." Ni Yang smiled and said, Godfather, just hear me out, don't be in a hurry to refuse. Your family has 4 children, and after the second half of the year, Yenyun, Dalong and Erlong will definitely need to continue their studies. With the rent and utility bills, there will be significant expenses again soon. Although you and Godmother can make 80 yuan a month working at the noodle restaurant, relying on those 80 yuan, you will never be able to make serious money. Since the year before last, our area has completely abolished the coupon-based shopping system, and individual enterprises are also gradually being accepted by everyone, so I suggest you take this money and start a business. Once you've made some money, you can return what you owe me with interest. Now is a good opportunity to make money, and I Yang didn't want Wu Jinshu to miss such a great chance. There won't be another 80s. Do business. Wu Jinshu was startled. I don't know anything, how can I do business? And I Yang paused, then asked, what did you and Godmother do for work before? Urja replied, I carried rice at the rice shop, and your godfather worked as a laborer on the construction site. And I Yang narrowed her eyes. So, Godfather, you must know a lot of construction workers from your time on the construction site, right? Yes. Wu Jinshu nodded. The workers at the construction site I used to work at were almost all from the same village. It's hard for outsiders to integrate into a group of construction workers introduced by fellow villagers. And I Yang thought for a moment and then said, then you could start a construction company. It would be even more convenient if everyone is from the same hometown. She very well remembered many real estate magnates in future generations who made their fortunes through construction companies. And in the 80s, China was developing with countless skyscrapers yet to rise from the ground. Chapter 851. Times Create Heroes. A Gentleman on the Beam _4. The construction industry is really in demand. Heroes are made by the times, policies, and opportunities. As long as you seize the moment in this era full of business opportunities, becoming wealthy is truly easy. But your godmother and I can't read, Wu Jinshu said, scratching his head somewhat embarrassedly. And I Yang replied, Yinyun still has more than 3 months before school starts. You and godmother can take this time to let her teach you some things, to recognize a few characters first, then you can slowly learn later on. Hard work never fails the determined, and I Yang had also known many rich people in the future who hadn't even stepped foot into a school. Their only difference from educated people was a graduation certificate. And I Yang continued, if you want to give it a try, I can help you look out for a storefront. You can start planning now. After all, you have worked on the construction site before, so you don't need to worry about connections. You don't need much capital to start a construction company. When there's work, call the brothers. When there's none, everyone goes home. Wu Jinshu was hesitant. He was afraid he wouldn't do well. And I Yang added, Uncle, you're still young. Even if not for yourself, you should try for the kids. You've worked on construction sites for so long and definitely know a lot of people and are quite familiar with the industry. There's truly nothing to worry about. Many outsiders have succeeded, and you're far more knowledgeable than them. What if it fails on me? Asked Wu Jinshu. He used to just think about finding a job with good pay, never considering going it alone. And I Yang said with a smile, if you want to get rich and expand your business, don't be afraid of failure. Because no one's success comes that easily. Herace what well do. He'll give you another 5,000 yuan, which will be my investment in buying shares. If you make money, you can share the profits with me at the end of the year. As she spoke, Enai Yang took another 5,000 yuan in cash from her bag. Usually Enai Yang wouldn't carry so much cash in her bag, but today she planned to deposit it in the bank. Yang, aren't you afraid? Wu Jinshu was startled by Enai Yang. She just kept handing out 5,000 yuan? Wasn't she afraid of losing money? Enai Yang smiled. What's there to be afraid of? You'll never get rich if you're always timid. Godfather, it's my money and I'm not afraid, so what are you afraid of? Wu Jinshu was stunned for a moment. At that moment, Yen Erju suddenly spoke. Dad, I've decided what Yang said makes sense. Why don't you give it a try? What if it works out? Wu Yenyun said, Dad, I also think Yang is right. Seeing that the time was ripe, Enai Yang said, Godfather, in this life, people should always take risks without reservation at least once. Without trying, you'll never know how great your potential is. Wu Jinshu nodded. All right. Yang, I'll listen to you. Okay, Enai Yang nodded. Then I'll watch out for storefronts. Wu Jinshu continued. Thanks so much, Yang. You've helped our family so much, I don't even know how to thank you properly. Enai Yang looked at Wu Jinshu and said, I think the best thank you is not to be soft-hearted. Wu Jinshu knew what Enai Yang meant. Don't worry, I won't be. After talking about these things, Enai Yang went on, Godfather, godmother, it's your first time moving over today. First, get to know the surrounding area. The house is fully equipped with sheets and quilt covers. You just need to buy some clothes to change into. Just turn right outside the community gate and there's a department store. As for your old home, I suggest you don't go back for now. Okay, Wu Jinshu nodded. And Yang picked up her bag. I have other matters, so I'll leave first. Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju wanted to see Yang off, but she said with a smile, Godfather, godmother, no need to fuss. Let Yenyun escort me. And Yang left the building with Wu Yenyun. Yang, thank you so much for today. And Yang replied with a smile, Yenyun, you've already thanked me. And I'll say it again, the best thanks is to not be soft-hearted. With someone like your grandmother, don't think about repaying evil with kindness. If you do, she will only ask for more and it'll be endless. It's been hard for your family to find peace. Don't let an old lady disturb it. Right? Wu Yenyun nodded. And Yang patted Wu Yenyun on the shoulder. As long as you understand. I'll be off now. Yang, be careful on your way, said Wu Yenyun. Don't worry, and Yang assured before getting into the car and driving off. Chapter 852, Times Create Heroes. A Gentleman on the Beam _5. And Yang recalled how she had raced the car on the way over, and Wu Yenyun continued, Yang, take it slow on your way back. Emichim, and Yang nodded, I will. However, before even a blink of an eye, the car had already disappeared from Wu Yenyun's view. This is way too fast, isn't it? What happened to driving slowly? Wu Yenyun opened her mouth in disbelief. And Yang hadn't felt this adrenaline rush of speed in a long time. In her previous life, because of Beijing's traffic congestion, she would go to official racetracks to experience the thrill of racing. But now in the 80s, Beijing's traffic signals were still not fully functional, and it was difficult for an ordinary family to buy even a bicycle. Where could traffic congestion come from? Without traffic restrictions or speed limits, and without waiting for traffic lights, the boss and I was very satisfied. Passers-by were continuously amazed. This is too impressive. Du Jiaojiao's eyes widened as she quickly tugged on Grandpa Du's sleeve. Look over there. Grandpa Du remained calm, twirling his Buddha beads. I saw it. To Du Jiaojiao it might be incredibly impressive, but for Grandpa Du it was nothing unusual. He had once driven while being pursued, navigating unharmed through a hail of bullets. Such a small trick could only deceive a naive girl like Du Jiaojiao. Without a second thought, he knew it was something a rich young man would use to attract girls. Just then, a strand of long hair floated out of the car window, tracing a perfect arc through the air. A woman? Grandpa Du raised his eyebrows slightly. My goodness. The driver is actually a woman. Du Jiaojiao nearly jumped for joy. Did you see that just now? Women drivers in this era were rare, Du Jiaojiao included. In this era, a woman driving was a novelty, so Grandpa Du remained calm. I saw it. Du Jiaojiao looked at him with disdain. How can you look so unexcited? There's nothing to be excited about, Grandpa Du said in a bland tone. Du Jiaojiao shook her head. It's so boring to be with someone like you. Grandpa Du said nothing, calmly twirling his Buddha beads. Du Jiaojiao went on to say, I've decided from today on, I'm going to learn to drive. Grandpa Du replied, I'll have Ziki teach you. Can't you teach me yourself? Du Jiaojiao knew Grandpa Du was a good driver. Don't worry, Ziki has more than enough skill to teach you, Grandpa Du assured her. Du Jiaojiao did not say much more. And Yang parked the car in front of Fragrant Beauty and then walked in. Coincidentally, Fragrant Beauty was also Du Jiaojiao and Grandpa Du's destination. Seeing the familiar sedan, Du Jiaojiao exclaimed in surprise, Isn't that the car we just saw? Indeed it is. Grandpa Du had a good memory for license plate numbers. I really want to see what the driver looks like, Du Jiaojiao continued, but the most important thing right now is to fill our stomachs. Let's go in quickly. The waiter led the two upstairs. The usual for both of you? Emichim, Du Jiaojiao nodded. He's vegetarian. Grandpa Du's hand paused while twirling the Buddha beads, ultimately remaining silent. The taste of fragrant Bowtai's dishes really was beyond reproach. Even a simple vegetarian dish was full of color, fragrance, and flavor. When the two left Fragrant Beauty, the sedan was still parked at the entrance. That person hasn't left yet. Shall we stand here for a bit and see what the driver looks like? Suggested Du Jiaojiao. I'm not as bored as you, Grandpa Du said lacklusterly. Du Jiaojiao had anticipated the response and waved her hand. Never mind, let's go back. As soon as they returned to Mansion Deming, the manager came over carrying a bird cage. Grandpa Du, we just caught this myna. it's very smart and can even talk. Grandpa Dust's main interests were usually feeding fish and playing with birds, so Mansion Deming had a pond full of imported koi. Hearing about the talking myna, Grandpa Dust's interest was piqued. Oh? What can it say? The manager thought for a moment, then said, I think it's... Inging? Yes, that's it. Inging. Just then, the bird in the cage thrashed its wings fiercely and snapped, Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! At this, the manager's face showed an embarrassed expression. It really was saying Inging just now. Grandpa Du said, Let it go. Chapter 853. Times Create Heroes. A Gentleman on the Beam _6. Ah. The steward was taken aback. Master Du twirled the Buddha beads. This myna bird's feathers shine brightly and it chirps crisply, clearly it has been domesticated. Aren't you afraid its owner will be worried now that you've captured it? The steward continued, I figure this myna must have sneaked out by itself. A bird like this, kept in captivity for a long time and suddenly set free outside, has absolutely no survival skills. If released, it wouldn't only fail to find its way home but might also face the risk of starving to death. The myna in the cage, as if understanding the steward's words, started calling out desperately. Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! Master Du nodded, You have a point, let's keep it then. This myna was indeed amusing. He had raised many birds including parrots and mynas, but never had he seen a bird that could curse. Master Du, with his right hand still holding the Buddha beads, flicked the bird cage, Be good. With these two mild words, the previously agitated myna calmed down instantly. Its feathers, which had been standing on end, gradually relaxed as it shrank into a corner, trembling. But as soon as Master Du turned away, the previously silent bird became fierce again, yelling, Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! Master Du glanced back slightly, Starve it for a meal. Okay. The steward nodded. This time, the myna in the cage dared not make a fuss anymore, realizing that preserving its own life was the priority. Its expression was particularly aggrieved. The steward chuckled, saying, It seems to understand us. Enai Yang handed over the storefront matters to Gu Lanji. Gu Lanji had wide connections in Beijing, and for her, renting a storefront was a minor matter. After that, Enai Yang discussed some other matters with her, and by the time she returned to the Zheng family, it was already past 8 at night. It had truly been an exhausting day. Enai Yang took a luxurious rose oil bath and went to bed. The next morning, the first thing Enai Tsuehua said to Enai Yang was, Yang, Duo might be lost. Duo is lost? Enai Yang frowned slightly. Enai Tsuehua nodded and continued, I haven't seen Duo since yesterday afternoon. Last night I specifically left a window open for it but it didn't return. This was quite strange. Although Duo was free-range, it used to come home several times a day, and it rested at night in the artificial tree inside the villa. Enai Yang continued, Did it go back to Jinghua village? Duo was a nostalgic bird and occasionally flew back to Jinghua village for a visit. No, Enai Tsuehua shook her head, I just called your aunt Enai, and she said she hasn't seen Duo return. Enai Yang picked up a bun, then I'll go look for it. Where will you look? Enai Tsuehua asked. They'll check the nearby park, Enai Yang replied. Walking out of the Zheng family, Enai Yang ate the bun while calling for Duo. Duo, although a bird, was smart and understood human nature. Whenever she called its name, as long as it heard her, no matter the distance, it would fly to her. But this time, Enai Yang almost shouted herself hoarse and still saw no sign of Duo, not even in the nearby park. Could it really be lost? Enai Yang's face turned pale and suddenly, the bun in her hand lost its appeal. When she first brought Duo home, it was just a little bird with barely grown feathers. She had struggled to raise it, dealing with its mess until it had grown, and now it was lost. Duo. Chirp. Just then, a black shape flew toward her from a distance. It was Duo. Enai Yang breathed a sigh of relief, but as the dark figure approached, she realized it wasn't Duo after all. It was just another myna bird that looked exactly like Duo. Yet, from Enai Yang, the seasoned mother's perspective, this myna was a bit uglier than Duo. Duo would always be the most beautiful child in her eyes. Tweet. This myna bird had been circling above Enai Yang's head, and Enai Yang just realized that this bird was one of Duo's many flings. As a womanizer of the bird world, Duo had brought quite a few female myna birds home for a free meal. Enai Yang was particularly impressed with this myna bird because of its unique claws. Do you mean to tell me you know where Duo is? Tweet. The myna bird flapped its wings, turned direction and flew off, glancing back at Ni Yang as it went. Ni Yang immediately started running to keep up. Fortunately, Ni Yang was in good shape and didn't feel tired even after running 2 or 3 kilometers. Tweet tweet. The myna bird stopped in front of an ancient-looking mansion. Is Duo in there? Ni Yang asked. Tweet tweet. Then he'll knock on the door. The myna bird continued to hover above Ni Yang. An old-fashioned sign reading De Ming Xian hung on the grand entrance. Anyone living in De Ming Xian was no ordinary person, and naturally, one couldn't enter without an appointment. Ni Yang turned away at the door, felt a headache coming on. Tweet tweet. The myna bird overhead seemed frantic. What should I do? Ni Yang extended a finger and massaged her temple. Just then Ni Yang noticed that the walls of De Ming Xian weren't very tall. Maybe she could climb over. Although it seemed a bit wrong, saving a bird was more important. She wasn't there to steal anything after all. Ni Yang made her way to the back of De Ming Xian, quickly scaled the wall and jumped down neatly. Due to unfamiliarity with the terrain, the spot she chose to land was right by an arched door, and just as she landed, someone happened to be passing by. Protect Du Yi. The area immediately went into high alert. Walking in front, Du Jiaojiao instinctively moved to shield Du Yi. Du Yi, a grown man, didn't need a woman's protection. Pushing Du Jiaojiao aside, he stepped forward. When Ni Yang saw Du Yi, she thought she was seeing things. Huh? Am I seeing things? If I had known this was your place, I would have come through the main entrance. Du Yi didn't seem surprised at all. His narrow eyes twinkled with mischief. How come you've turned into a rooftop gentleman? Ni Yang patted the dust off her clothes. A rooftop gentleman is out of necessity. I'm here looking for my son. Your son? Du Yi frowned slightly, incredulous. When did you have a son? How do I not know about this? Ni Yang arched her brow. Look at you, do I need to report to you when I have a son? Tweet tweet. Just then the myna bird circling overhead called out again. Ni Yang followed the myna bird forward and turned to look at Du Yi. Since this is your turf, I want stand on ceremony. No need for ceremony. Du Yi's expression slowly returned to normal. Du Jiaojiao tugged at Du Yi's sleeve and whispered, Did you bring back this romantic debt from outside? She's quite pretty. That's not it. Du Yi paused, twisting the Buddha beads in his hand. Don't talk nonsense. Du Jiaojiao rolled her eyes, speechlessly. You even have a son, yet you still won't admit it. Chapter 854. Offended the wrong person. Dog food manufacturer Du Jiaojiao had many mishaps with romance previously, which, coupled with Ni Yang coming to find her son, led to some misunderstandings. Gazing at Ni Yang, Du Jiaojiao's eyes sparkled with admiration. I say, you've got quite the taste this time. Such a beautiful young girl, and I doubt we could find another like her in all of Shanghai. She had a son for you and you're still not satisfied? That son isn't mine, Du said with a tone of helplessness. Du Jiaojiao stared wide-eyed at Du, incredulous. You've been cheated on? Du's breath hitched. You're venturing way off topic. Then what do you mean? If you haven't been cheated on, why deny your own son? That's not right. Du Jiaojiao argued. Twisting the Buddha beads, Du replied, Stop guessing. Ni Yang and I are not what you think. She is also the person who saved me earlier. Is that truly her? Du Jiaojiao expressed her skepticism. Really? Du Jiaojiao had always been curious about Du's mysterious lifesaver and never anticipated it was the young girl before her. They say no one is perfect, but Du Jiaojiao was still in disbelief. Such a beautiful young girl and yet so capable. Unbelievable indeed. Absolutely true, Du affirmed, his expression unreadable. Knowing Du was not one to jest and he had no reason to joke about this matter, Du Jiaojiao asked curiously, Then why is she here looking for her son? Did you hide her son? I don't even know who her son is, Du replied innocently. Looking towards Ni Yang, Du Jiaojiao remarked, Not to mention this young lady is really beautiful. No wonder you compared her with Change last time. She doesn't look like someone who has had a child. Glancing at Du Jiaojiao, Du retorted, You speak as though you've had one. Du Jiaojiao rolled her eyes at Du. The two casually followed Ni Yang. Ni Yang kept following the leader's son parakeet, walking through the corridor and arriving at the garden's back. Seeing how earnestly Ni Yang was searching, Du Jiaojiao elbowed Du. You didn't really hide her son, did you? Why would I hide her son? Du countered. Du Jiaojiao, I do seriously, maybe to become her kid's stepdad. Du's breath hitched again. Don't spout nonsense. Du Jiaojiao's face was alight with teasing. I guessed it, didn't I? You think you can read minds? Du said calmly while twirling his Buddha beads. Du Jiao continued, getting to marry such a pretty girl, even if it means being someone's stepdad, wouldn't be a loss. This time Du didn't respond. He knew Jiao too well. If he kept responding, Jiao would never stop teasing. Are you admitting it? Du Jiao nudged Du again. Du remained silent. Du Jiao scoffed lightly. Ai Yang had searched around in the garden and hadn't found Duo. Miss, did you find your son? Du Jiao approached. Need any help? Thank you. Before Ai Yang could finish, a crisp voice filled the air. Yang. Duo. Ai Yang's face lit up. Hearing Ai Yang's response, Duo called out even more joyously, Yang. The sun parakeet spiraling above Ai Yang's head seemed extremely excited, chirping non-stop. Who's talking? Du Jiao scratched her head looking at Ai Yang. Your son? Yep. Ai Yang nodded, her gaze catching a middle-aged man walking towards them with a birdcage covered by a black cloth. Yang. Ai Yang approached the middle-aged man. Excuse me, sir. May I take a look at what you're holding? The middle-aged man paused, about to ask who Ai Yang was, but Du interjected, Open it for Miss Ai to see. Having lived in this place for so long, Du had never brought any woman other than Du Jiao here. Ai Yang was most likely the first. The middle-aged man promptly lifted the black cloth over the bird cage, and Duo was ecstatic. Yang. Seeing Duo inside the cage, Ai Yang breathed a sigh of relief. Duo. Du Jiao was stunned. She had never imagined Ai Yang's son would be a bird. She had genuinely thought Ai Yang had a real son. Why was he still locked up? Ai Yang said as she began to open the bird cage. Why was he let out? Before the middle-aged man could speak, Duo flew directly to Ai Yang's shoulder, rubbing his small head against her chin incessantly. Yang. Chapter 855. Offended someone who should not be offended, dog food manufacturer _2. She looked as though she had a belly full of grievances to express. Fine. So it turns out this is someone's bird. What more could he possibly have to say about it? Ai Yan chuckled and said, All right, I know you've been wronged. Just wait, mommy will avenge you. Is this a call to arms? Master Dust's brow twitched and he tried to keep his tone even as he said, This is your son? Before Ai Yan could answer, Duo spread his wings, looking ferocious as he scolded, You little bastard. This bird was definitely relying on humans now. If it had been before today, Duo would have been as scared of Master Du as a mouse is of a cat. How could he dare to act this way? Master Du, Ai Yan smiled and said, That's just the way he is, don't take it to heart. But tell me, how did you manage to catch him and lock him up? The middle-aged uncle realized that Ai Yan's status was not simple. Having followed Master Du for so long, apart from Jiao, he had never seen any woman dare to speak to Master Du like this. Not even the two mistresses of the household dared to. Miss Ai, this has nothing to do with Master Du seeing that the Mina could talk, and knowing Master Du likes to tease birds, I took it upon myself to catch it. Master Du actually wanted to release it, but I said that birds raised in captivity can't survive in the wild, and Master Du was afraid it would starve, so. Ai Yan nodded, I see, but you can rest assured. Our Duo is free-range and his survival skills are very strong. He won't starve even if he isn't fed for 10 days. Master Du chimed in timely, Your son is named Duo? Well taught. Ai Yan nodded, Come son, let's greet Master Du, you little bastard. Master Du. Ai Yan smiled lightly, Don't be fooled by the fact that Duo is only a bird, he's actually very smart and understands human nature. Master Du. He should curse, he's blind, he acknowledges it. He should have realized earlier that Duo wasn't calling for Yang. Jiao found this amusing, the girl was outright with her insults. When had the illustrious Master Du of the 10-mile foreign district ever been scolded to his face like this? And yet, the person in question could only swallow the slight. Jiao smiled radiantly, Young lady, your son is very handsome. By seniority he should call me third younger brother. What should he call me? Third younger brother? Ai Yan was taken aback for a moment. Master Du introduced, This is my second sister, Jiao. Miss Du. Ai Yan wasn't pretentious, continuing, My name is Ai Yan. An I with a man radical, Yen as in jade becomes warm and produces smoke under the sun. Jiao replied, That's a beautiful name, as beautiful as you are. Thank you, Miss Du. Jiao continued, I've heard from my second brother that you are his savior. If anyone should be thanking, it should be me thanking you. Don't be so formal with me. I'm a few years older than you, just call me sister. And I Yin smiled lightly. Master Du has already thanked me, Sister Jiao Jiao, you are too kind. The girl wasn't affected or coy, and her forthright personality was very appealing to Jiao Jiao. Then he'll call you Yang Yang, Jiao Jiao said. And I Yin nodded, okay. Jiao Jiao went on, how do you feed your bird? He's so obedient. My third brother also has many birds, and none of them are as well behaved as Duo Duo. And I Yin said, actually there's no secret. I've always let him roam free and over time he's become attuned to human nature. Oh, is that so? Jiao Jiao said, naturally linking arms with an I Yin. By the way, Yang Yang, you don't look very old? 19, and I Yin replied. Jiao Jiao smiled, no wonder your skin is so good, so white. I'm getting old. I feel like an old lady compared to you. And I Yin said, having good skin is because of choosing the right skincare products. It has nothing to do with age. Skincare products? Jiao Jiao frowned slightly. I use imported skincare products and they don't do much. Yang Yang, what brand do you use? And I Yin looked up at Jiao Jiao and then said, Sister Jiao Jiao, I suppose you have oily skin? What's oily skin? Jiao Jiao asked. Oily skin means that there is an excessive buildup of sebum on the face, causing the pores to become clogged and prone to pimples and acne. Before N.I. Yen could finish her sentence, Jiao Jiao, as if she had found a confidant, eagerly continued, Yes. Yang Yang, you're so right. My skin is prone to acne. Chapter 856. Offended someone who shouldn't have been offended, dog food manufacturer _3. As she finished speaking, Du Jiao Jiao continued, But Yang Yang, how do you know all this? N.I. Yang replied with a smile, Because I love beauty and like to fiddle with things. Sister Jiao Jiao, I suggest you use the Bingji Yufu Hydrating Skincare Set, which not only hydrates but also has whitening and oil control effects. Bingji Yufu? Du Jiao Jiao furrowed her brows slightly. I seem to have heard of this brand. It's made in China, right? And I Yang nodded her head. Du Jiao Jiao said with a smile, Can domestic skincare products really compare with imports? At that time, China was still developing, so it was normal for Du Jiao Jiao to look down on domestic products. Although Bingji Yufu was very popular, its sales relied on loyal customers, and it was still hard for new customers to accept it. After all, at that time all the good stuff was imported from overseas like refrigerators, washing machines, window air conditioners and so on. In later years you could still feel the prestige of imported goods, things like foreign shovels, nails, cement and grease mentioned by the older generation. N.I. Yang's lips curved in a faint smile. You can't be too absolute about everything. Sometimes foreign goods aren't necessarily better than our Chinese products. It's just that people are used to imports and unwilling to try new things. Du Jiao Jiao didn't take N.I. Yang's words to heart and casually nodded. You make some sense. I'll definitely try Bingji Yufu when I get a chance. As soon as she finished speaking, Du Jiao Jiao continued, Yang Yang, you're still in school, right? N.I. Yang nodded. Yes, I'm in my senior year now and the college entrance exam is coming up in July. The 80s were different from later years. In later years the college entrance exam was in June, but in the 80s it was in July. 19 and still in senior year? She must have repeated a few years, right? It seems that my younger brother's lifesaver isn't very smart. Du Jiao Jiao gave N.I. Yang a thoughtful look but said nothing. While the two of them were chatting, grandfather Du just stood silently to the side. He marveled inwardly at how amazing Du Jiao Jiao was. She hadn't known N.I. Yang for long, yet she had managed to find out so much about her. He had spent an entire night alone with N.I. Yang and still didn't know her as well as she did. After chatting for a while, N.I. Yang suggested it was time to say goodbye. Du Jiao Jiao, arm in arm with N.I. Yang, said, Yang Yang, don't be in such a rush to leave. It's almost time for lunch. You should eat with us before you go. N.I. Yang replied with a smile, Sister Jiao Jiao, you're being too polite. When I went out to look for Duo Duo earlier, my mom specifically instructed me to hurry back once I found Duo Duo. If I don't return soon she might really think Duo Duo is lost. Upon hearing this, Du Jiao Jiao no longer insisted on keeping N.I. Yang and added, We've just arrived in Beijing and don't have any friends here. Yang Yang, if you have time, come and keep me company for a chat. Sure, N.I. Yang nodded. He'll head back first then. Grandfather Du walked N.I. Yang to the door. Duo Duo, say goodbye to Mr. Du, little bastard. Duo Duo was still fuming. Duo Duo, N.I. Yang patted its head, don't be so impolite. Grandfather Du, however, was calm, a smile playing on his lips. Why bother with it? Besides, this was all my fault to begin with. I should be the one apologizing to it. And I Yang said smiling, you shouldn't say that, this little guy is always pushing its luck. They'll be going now. Emichim, Grandfather Du nodded slightly, be careful on your way. Just as I Yang turned to leave, Grandfather Du called out, wait a moment. What is it? And I Yang looked back. Grandfather Du twirled his Buddha beads, my name is Du Chengfeng. And I Yang was taken aback at first and then asked, Chengfeng as in I desire to ride the wind to return? Yes, Grandfather Du nodded. Nice name, and I Yang said. Grandfather Du, holding the Buddha beads, paused for a moment, thank you. When N.I. Yang's figure disappeared under the shade of the parasol trees, Grandfather Du also turned and went inside. As soon as he entered, Du Jiaojiao approached, that Yang is very pretty. Yeah, Grandfather Du replied to her. Du Jiaojiao continued, did she just call you Mr. Du? Yeah. Doesn't she know you're the Grandfather Du of the 10-mile foreign trade area? Du Jiaojiao asked back. She knows. Grandfather Du lifted the lid of the incense burner and lit a piece of sandalwood. Du Jiaojiao narrowed her eyes, knowing that and still calling you Mr. Du, is she playing hard to get? It was no wonder Du Jiaojiao would overthink, she had met too many people who thought they were very clever. Chapter 857. Offended someone who shouldn't have been offended, dog food manufacturer _4. Who would not respectfully address him as Mr. Du. There really were hardly any who dared to call him Sir Du, he's not that kind of person, Mr. Du firmly negated. TSKS. Du Jiaojiao watched Mr. Du with a mischievous smile, so quick to defend her? Mr. Du did not explain further, merely saying, ever heard of how appearance reflects the heart? Determining that Jing Xianjing would be that kind of person was more fitting. And I Yang? She would disdain engaging in such matters. Du Jiaojiao nodded, that's true too, Yang is so beautiful. If she were interested in you, she wouldn't need to play hard to get. She just has to nod and you'd have a new concubine in your backyard. You're overthinking it, Mr. Du said indifferently. Du Jiaojiao agreed, indeed I am overthinking. Like an I Yang, you can tell she is not one to be confined to the boudoir. How could she possibly content herself with being one of many concubines, competing and becoming jealous of other women? Mr. Du silently twirled his Buddha beads. Sister, you're getting further off topic. Yang is so beautiful, and you're not at all moved by her? Du Jiaojiao retorted. Mr. Du's expression remained stoic. Only a dead man's heart stays still. Do I look like a dead man to you? Du Jiaojiao, lost for words, said, ugh. I'm not talking about that kind of being moved. I meant the kind where you like her. You seem so smart usually, how come you turn silly at crucial moments? Forget it. Speaking to someone heartless like you wouldn't understand even if I explained. Mr. Du sat cross-legged on a low stool and began preparing tea. He was particularly meticulous about brewing tea, which in later eras would be referred to as tea ceremony. Du Jiaojiao disliked these overly elaborate habits, so much effort in brewing tea for just a few sips. Elegant but impractical. Seeing Mr. Du make tea, she muttered boring, and turned to leave the living room. After Du Jiaojiao left the living room, Mr. Du summoned the butler. Mr. Du continued his tea-making motion, his hands weaving through the teacups as the tea smoke spiraled upwards, casting his facial features into a more majestic and enigmatic silhouette. Who was on duty at the gate today? The butler, taken aback by the sudden question, asked. Xiaozhao and Xiaolin. Mr. Du nodded. Tell them they needn't come tomorrow. Why? The butler was puzzled. Had Xiaozhao and Xiaolin offended Mr. Du? Mr. Du asked. Do you know how high the backyard wall is? 4 meters. Before the butler could finish, they seemed to realize something suddenly and immediately said, all right, I understand. They'll notify them right now. Go ahead, Mr. Du gestured with his hand. The butler approached the gate. The grand gate of Deming Pavilion had an imposing appearance, even the gatekeepers found it dignified. When the butler told them they needn't come tomorrow, Xiaozhao and Xiaowu were startled. Butler, what did we do wrong that you're firing us? The butler patted Xiaozao's shoulder. It's because you offended someone you shouldn't have. What? Xiaozhao blurted in dialect. Who did we offend? The butler continued. The young girl Mr. Du personally saw off just earlier. After saying this, the butler sighed and then added, you should feel lucky that you didn't fracture the young lad's leg today, or you'd really be in a mess. A fall from a 4-meter-high wall could potentially lead to fatal accidents. Xiaozhao and Xiaolin felt wronged. How could they have known that girl had such significant backing? Seeing their thoughts, the butler said, all right, don't feel too wronged. Erase 3 months of your salary as compensation. You don't have to come tomorrow, start looking for a new job. Finding a new job was easy, but finding one with a salary as high as before was difficult. The two accepted the money from the butler with frowns on their faces. An Yang brought Duo back to the Zheng family. Little An Yun was overjoyed, incessantly asking Duo, where were you last night? I missed you so much. After returning, An Yang relayed what happened with Wu Yenyun to An Tsuehua. Upon hearing this, An Quihua's face changed. Is Yenyun really the second girl? The few abandoned children hadn't been given names yet, so An Tsuehua simply called them second girl, third girl, fourth girl, and little An Yun ranked fifth. Chapter 858. Offended someone who shouldn't have been offended, dog food manufacturer _5. An Yang nodded, it's very likely, I've already sent the sample for testing. 3 months later, we'll know the results and the truth will be revealed. Firstly, Wu Yanyun's age matches with my second sister, and then she doesn't resemble the Wu couple, and the location also matches since they too are from Haiqing. An Tsuehua wiped her tears, no wonder I felt the child looked familiar, so she is indeed Erniu. An Yang continued, Mom, it's just a suspicion for now, nothing certain. Let's wait for the test results and don't get your hopes too high. The higher the hopes, the greater the disappointment. If it turns out to be a misunderstanding, An Tsuehua would be devastated. An Yang needed to prepare precautionary measures. Upon hearing this, An Tsuehua calmed down a bit and then asked, where are they living now? I want to go see them. An Yang replied, they live in Building 78, Guiqing Garden, but I think you shouldn't disturb them for now. Let's wait until after the test results are out. Can I just take a quick peek without them noticing? An Tsuehua asked. An Yang hesitated, how about this, Uncle Wu's construction company will be launching soon. You can visit then. By that time I will have recognized them as my godparents. Okay, An Tsuehua nodded. Time swiftly passed and in the blink of an eye, 7 days had gone by. During this time, An Yang was studying the 13 ghost points technique while also helping Wu Jinshu lease a storefront. Wu Jinshu was busy decorating the storefront. One morning, Dr. Jiang came with his medical kit to check on grandmother Zheng's health. After the examination, Dr. Jiang smiled and said, Qing, I think you won't need me anymore. What? Grandmother Zheng asked. Dr. Jiang replied, because you have fully recovered. It's really miraculous. Ever since your granddaughters returned, your health has improved daily. She truly is the lucky star of your family. Grandmother Zheng smiled, I think you are absolutely right, Xiaoyan. Ever since I met them I feel no illness at all. Dr. Jiang looked around, seeing no one was nearby, he lowered his voice, how are Tingting and Lingling getting along? Any discord? None, Grandmother Zheng replied. They get along just like biological sisters, and even the children interact well together. This was something Grandmother Zheng was very pleased about. In ordinary families such harmony might not be possible. Although last time, Zheng Xianjing was suspected of impersonating Mr. Dust's lifesaver, she had sincerely apologized, and that issue was now resolved. Dr. Jiang nodded, that's good. Tingting and Lingling are blood-related cousins, and they're getting along so well as within my expectations. After speaking, Dr. Jiang continued, Qing, you now essentially have 2 daughters. Have you thought about how you will divide the inheritance? Grandmother Zheng smiled, I've always been fair and won't favor one over the other. Although Lingling is not my biological child, she is no different from my own. I've said it before, when the time comes, it will be half for each child. Upon hearing this, Zheng Lingling, who was about to approach, stopped in her tracks. Half for each. This damn old woman really had the nerve to say it. If she had said a 20-80 split, Zheng Lingling would have accepted without a word. But now it was a 50-50 split. She had spent nearly half her life taking care of these 2 people, and An Tsuehua had only returned a few days ago. What right did An Tsuehua have to share the Zheng family's wealth equally with her? Even suggesting a 20-80 split was her being generous. In her opinion, the Zheng family's wealth should not go to An Tsuehua at all. Dr. Jiang replied, that's certainly a fair approach, but will your Tingting agree? After all, you are her biological mother, would she be willing to share equally with Lingling? Grandmother Zheng smiled, don't worry about that. Tingting is a good child, she doesn't care about the part she gets. Dr. Jiang responded, that's good. Zheng Lingling's features contorted. An Tsuehua is a good child? Was this damn old woman implying that she was not? No. She couldn't wait any longer. Zheng Lingling clutched the tray in her hands, her knuckles turning slightly white from the force. When Dr. Jiang left the Zheng family's house, Zheng Lingling chased after him. "Aunt Jiang, wait a moment." "What is it?" Dr. Jiang turned around. Zheng Lingling said, "Dr. Jiang, I've been having severe headaches lately. Do you have any painkillers?" Chapter 859. Offended someone who shouldn't have been offended. Dog food manufacturer _6. "Does it hurt in waves?" Dr. Jiang asked. "Yeah." Zheng Lingling nodded. "Then let's walk and talk," Dr. Jiang said. "Okay." Zheng Lingling followed Dr. Jiang's steps. "Lingling, your mom is almost fully recovered now. I probably won't be visiting your house much anymore," Dr. Jiang said. "That's soon." Zheng Lingling frowned slightly. Dr. Jiang nodded. "It's a good thing that your mom is getting better." Zheng Lingling then said, "Please give me the painkillers quickly." Dr. Jiang searched through her box and found a box of medicine. "Remember, 2 pills at a time." "Okay." Dr. Jiang continued, "Today your mom said she would leave you half of her estate. What do you think?" The mention of this made Zheng Lingling angry. All these years I have been the one by her side. But when it comes to dividing the property, she sure doesn't forget her biological daughter. Dr. Jiang frowned. "If she has promised to leave you half, it makes sense. After all, blood is thicker than water, and bones may break but the sinews still hold." "I'm afraid." "Auntie Jiang, what do you mean?" Dr. Jiang went on. "I've been sisters with your mom my entire life, there were no secrets between us. But ever since Tingting returned, she hasn't been as open with me as before." Zheng Lingling asked impatiently, "Auntie Jiang, what do you mean by that?" Dr. Jiang said, "Like the paternity test and the fact that Ni Yang knows medical skills." She paused, then continued, "But Lingling, don't worry too much. Ni Yang is a doctor, sure, but she practices traditional Chinese medicine. It has nothing to do with mental health." Zheng Lingling nodded. She wasn't worried about Ni Yang. Just a teenager, how skilled in medicine could she be? Dr. Jiang continued, "I suspect your mom is deceiving me. She doesn't really want to divide half of the property with you. After all, you're not her biological child. She wants to leave all the wealth to her biological daughter, which is natural human sentiment." Zheng Lingling bit her lip. What should I do then? Everything in the Zheng family was hers. She was not willing to be so easily robbed. Dr. Jiang took out another box of headache pills from her medical kit. "Some things are better dealt with sooner rather than later. Don't underestimate a headache as a small issue. If it drags on for long, it can turn into a big problem. Life is unpredictable, who knows what might happen tomorrow." Zheng Lingling took the box and nodded solemnly. "Got it, Auntie Jiang. I understand." Today was the grand opening of Wu Jinshi's construction company. The name of the construction company was chosen by Ni Yang. Jianghua Construction Company Limited. As the sole investor, Ni Yang, of course, couldn't miss the opening day. At 8 in the morning, Ni Yang and Ni Tsuehua arrived at the company on time. The more Ni Tsuehua looked at Wu Yinyun, the more she felt Wu Yinyun was her second daughter. Her eyes began to moisten. How hard it must have been for her to grow up so big, being thrown away so young. Poor child, she hadn't even had the chance to drink milk since she was little. Wu Yinyun noticed Ni Tsuehua kept looking at her and feeling somewhat embarrassed, said, "Auntie, do you have something you want to tell me?" "Nothing, nothing." Ni Tsuehua immediately came back to her senses. "I was just deep in thought." The opening ceremony was simple. They set off firecrackers and cut a ribbon. There was only a month left for exams, so after cutting the ribbon, Ni Yang didn't idle either, rushing to school non-stop. She had 2 exams that day. By the time she left school, it was already after 5 in the afternoon. Ni Yang slowly walked on the road, her shadow elongated by the setting sun. Just at that moment. Screech. Suddenly, a sound of tires abruptly halting filled the air, and by the time Ni Yang looked up, a black sedan was already calmly stopped in front of her. Whose car is this, so thoughtless? Ni Yang was just about to kick it when the car door swung open, and a tall and upright figure emerged, with the dying light of the sunset shrouding his features, making them somewhat indistinct. Ni Yang was momentarily stunned before she could react, and by then she was already seized by an imperious force. Yang. He buried his head in her neck and deeply inhaled the lingering scent of her hair. Brother Mo. Ni Yang wrapped her arms around him. Thinking about it, it had been almost half a year since she last saw Mo Chishan. Ouch! After hugging for a bit, Ni Yang pushed him away with her hands, expressing her disdain. Brother Mo, how long has it been since you shaved? Did it hurt you? Mo Chishan looked worried. Only then did Ni Yang notice the blue stubble on his chin, adding a bit more manliness to his appearance. Ni Yang couldn't help but reach out and touch it, finding the sensation novel, like a tingling electric shock. Tisk, how busy have you been? How does it feel? Mo Chishan gripped her hand. Not great, it's prickly, Ni Yang said with a face full of disdain. Let's get in the car and talk. Mo Chishan guided her to the back seat. Wu Daming took the initiative to greet her, sister-in-law number 6. Seeing Wu Daming, who was shiny black, Ni Yang laughed. Wu Daming, have you been on a vacation to F continent? Wu Daming turned around in surprise. Sister-in-law, how did you figure it out? But I didn't go to F continent for a vacation. It's your teeth, Ni Yang replied. Ah. Wu Daming was somewhat confused. Ni Yang continued, I suggest that if you go out at night, remember to smile more. Why? Wu Daming touched the back of his head. Ni Yang smiled and said, use your teeth to blind them, otherwise it's too dark and no one can see you. Wu Daming, not only had he darkened, but why did everyone have to laugh at him too? A few minutes later, Wu Daming realized that being laughed at by Ni Yang wasn't the worst. Being force-fed dog food, that was the worst. He was still a kid, why did he have to endure such an assault of love? Those two people in the back seat were really too much. After about 15 minutes, the car stopped in front of a villa. Once out of the car, Ni Yang said in surprise, why are we here? Weren't we going to my place? Mo Chishan said, with my disheveled appearance, it's not suitable for me to go to your house. What if our mom disapproves and won't let you marry me? Ni Yang raised her eyebrows slightly, I'm not planning to marry you right now anyway. Fine, then I'll marry you. Mo Chishan shamelessly wrapped his arm around Ni Yang's waist. Yang, you've lost weight. Have I? You really have, I can feel it, Mo Chishan said as he tightened his hold. As they talked, the two of them had already entered the villa. No sooner had the door closed than Mo Chishan pinned her against it with a reversed hand, and then leaned down for a kiss. The blue stubble prickled against her fair skin, a bit painful, yet Mo Chishan couldn't bring himself to let go so soon after such a long time apart. After a while, Ni Yang pushed him away. Go shave now. Chapter 860. Can you get first place like this? Mo Chishan went to the bathroom to take a shower and shave. Ni Yang, having nothing better to do, sat on the couch to watch TV. At this time there weren't many channels available on TV, but the programs being broadcast were future classics. Playing on TV right now was the 1985 version of Jianghu, although there were only 8 episodes of it currently. Ni Yang hadn't really watched Jianghu before, but she found it quite interesting now. By the time Mo Chishan emerged from the washroom, half an hour had passed. Let's go, Ni Yang said, reaching to turn off the TV when she saw Mo Chishan come out. While fastening the buttons on his shirt, Mo Chishan asked, is Mom still staying at Grandma's place? Yep. Ni Yang reached out to pinch Mo Chishan's face. Saying Mom and Grandma so smoothly, Big Brother Mo, I found your skin is getting thicker and thicker. Mo Chishan grinned cheekily, my skin is so thick, did it hurt your hand? What do you think? Ni Yang raised her eyebrows slightly. I guess it must have hurt, let me rub it for you. Mo Chishan took Ni Yang's hand. Big Brother Mo, I beg you to be a bit more human. The two chatted as they walked away. Wu Daming had already returned home and Ni Yang took the keys from Mo Chishan. I'll drive. Mo Chishan was a little surprised. You know how to drive? He hadn't known that Ni Yang could drive, even after knowing her for so long. Of course, Ni Yang said with a touch of haughty pride. Is there anything your brother Yang can't do? At first, Mo Chishan thought Ni Yang was just boasting until she successfully started the car. Only then did he realize that Ni Yang wasn't joking. This Ni Yang, she may seem aloof and reticent ordinarily, but only Mo Chishan knew she had a playful side hidden in her bones. And she liked to brag a bit. Buckle up, Ni Yang said, her hand on the steering wheel, glancing sideways at Mo Chishan. The light from the street lamps cast the shadow of her eyelashes across her nose bridge in a strangely cool pose. Mo Chishan swallowed unconsciously. Oh. After Mo Chishan buckled up, he realized that Ni Yang could not only drive, but she drove with incredible skill. It made Mo Chishan almost think Ni Yang could take the car to the sky. With turns, consecutive turns, sharp turns, she never slowed down, yet the ride was as smooth as if on flat ground. What should have been a 30-minute drive took less than 5 minutes to arrive at the Zheng family's front gate. Ni Yang stopped the car and switched off the ignition, whistled cheerfully at Mo Chishan. how about that? Am I, Brother Yang, awesome or what? Mo Qishan nodded slightly. Awesome, truly awesome. Brother Yang is too cool, truly worthy of being my wife. Such nerve. Mo Qishan got out of the car right behind her, taking the gifts brought back from F country from the back of the car, and they walked towards the villa together. Zheng Xianjing had the day off from school and had come home early. Just as she came down the stairs, she saw a figure coming through the door. Against the light, she couldn't quite make out his features, yet a powerful aura surrounded him, instilling a sense of inferiority in those who saw him. Who could this be? Although she couldn't quite see his face clearly, Zheng Xianjing could sense that this was no ordinary person. Perhaps it was Mr. Mog. The Mo and Zheng families were extremely close, so it was unsurprising for Baichuan to visit the Zheng family. Zheng Xianjing narrowed her eyes and subconsciously brushed her hair behind her ears, straightened her back and walked downstairs. The features of his face gradually became visible in the darkness. Thin, sharp lips like paper cuts, narrow and long phoenix eyes brimming with a cold gleam, and features as flawlessly carved as fine artistry, especially those deep and heavy eyes, bottomless as if they were vast stars. She recognized who it was. The next second, all traces of a smile vanished from Zheng Xianjing's face. It was Mo Qishan. How could such a fine appearance be wasted on a ne'er-do-well like Mo Qishan? Regret and disgust flickered across Zheng Xianjing's eyes as she snorted and walked past him with her nose in the air. For a good-for-nothing like Mo Qishan, even the right to hold her shoes was unattainable. Mo Qishan's face remained expressionless as he continued walking in. Xiaoma. Anai Tsuehua was surprised to see Mo Qishan. When did you get back? Mo Qishan replied, Auntie, I just got back home this afternoon. Laughing, Anai Tsuehua said, Come on in, and by the way, where's Yang Yang? Did you see her? Mo Qishan answered, Yang Yang was supposed to come in with me, but she felt a bit unwell the moment we were entering the door, so she went to the washroom. Chapter 861. Can you get first place like this? _2. Mo Qishan handed the items in his hand to Anai Tsuehua. These are the gifts I brought from F country for Grandpa Zheng, Grandma Zheng, and you and Uncle. Anai Tsuehua smiled and said, You child, coming here is enough, why bring gifts? Grandpa Zheng and Grandma Zheng also liked Mo Qishan very much. Although Mo Qishan's reputation wasn't good, he was truly good to Anai Yang, and based on their understanding of him over time, Mo Qishan wasn't as difficult as the rumors suggested. As long as Anai Yang had no objections, neither did they as the elders. Soon after, Anai Yang walked in from outside. That evening, after Mo Qishan had some drinks, Anai Yang drove him home. This time she didn't speed but drove leisurely. The car didn't have the air conditioning on, all the windows were down and a gentle breeze flowed in, making it pleasantly refreshing. While driving, Anai Yang started discussing Wu Yenyun with Mo Qishan. Mo Qishan said, If she really is your second sister, then your third and fourth sisters must still be around too. Anai Yang nodded, hopefully. By the way, tomorrow is Sunday. I just recognized Yanyan's parents as my godparents, so how about I take you to visit them tomorrow? Sure. Despite the slow speed of the car, it didn't take long to arrive at the Mo family's house. Since they were already there, Anai Yang went in with Mo Qishan, planning to greet Mr. and Mrs. Mo. Seeing Anai Yang, Mr. and Mrs. Mo were very happy. Yang Yang is here. Come in, come in. We just got a few kilograms of green husk lychees this afternoon from Officer Wu, and I saved half for you, planning to send them over in a couple of days. Anai Yang loved lychees, and hearing they were green husk lychees excited her even more. Are they Guelu from Xingqing? Yes, the Guelu from Xingqing. They're very sweet and even seedless. Green husk lychees were the most expensive among lychee varieties. Anai Yang remembered once, in her previous life, a single green husk lychee was auctioned for a record high price of 550,000. After many years, tasting green husk lychees again transported Anai Yang momentarily back to the future. Mo Qishan peeled the lychees and placed them on a plate, one after another, quickly filling up a large plate. Anai Yang hurriedly said, Okay, big brother Mo, I can't eat that much after dinner. Do you not want to eat pomegranate? Mo Qishan picked up a pomegranate. Anai Yang shook her head. No. Mo Qishan smiled and asked, Is there any fruit you don't eat? Anai Yang responded, Pomegranates require spitting out seeds, it's too much hassle. Lychees are more convenient. Mo Qishan smiled, took a pomegranate and slowly started peeling it, his handsome hands clearly defined against the bright red pomegranate, making them particularly striking. Hearing the noise downstairs, Xiao Yingying immediately ran down. She had been staying at the Mo family's house for the past few days, hoping to meet Mr. Mog, so she always rushed over whenever there were visitors at the Mo family's house to see if it was Mr. Mog. Seeing Mo Qixin, Xiao Yingying's face couldn't hide her disappointment. Xiao Yingying, like an eggplant hit by frost, didn't even want to greet Mo Qixin and listlessly walked back upstairs. Mr. and Mrs. Mo didn't like Xiao Yingying much either. Because the girl lacked manners, barely greeting them and always acting as if someone owed her millions. If she wasn't Mo Baichuan's cousin, they would have kicked her out long ago. Just then noises sounded from outside. Mrs. Mo stood up and said, "It must be Baichuan coming back, I'll go have a look." Sure enough, it was Mo Baichuan. Mo Baichuan had been staying at the base, and he hadn't expected to see Mo Qixin and Ni Yang upon his return. "Your Uncle Six came back today and Yang Yang is here too. Go greet them." "Okay." Mo Baichuan took off his white gloves and walked into the living room. "Uncle Six." Mo Qixin nodded slightly. "My nephew is back. Didn't you see your Aunt Six?" Ni Yang greeted, "Nephew, would you like some lychees?" What was this back-and-forth exchange about? Mo Baichuan frowned. "I don't eat them." "Oh." Ni Yang didn't say anything more and continued eating lychees, just being polite. Mo Baichuan then asked, "When did Uncle Six get home?" Chapter 862, Can you get first place like this? _3. "I just returned this afternoon," Mo Qixin said. Mo Baichuan glanced at Mo Qixin, then continued, "Has Uncle Six been very busy outside lately?" Asking a universally acknowledged useless man if he has been busy is practically the same as mockery. In fact, Mo Baichuan couldn't be bothered to mock this worthless Uncle Six. He wanted to see how Ni Yang would react. How could Ni Yang not be tired after acting with Mo Qixin for so long? Mo Qixin's thin lips curled slightly, his hand still peeling a pomegranate. "So, what has Uncle Six been busy with outside?" Mo Baichuan promptly asked. "Trade secrets." Upon hearing this, the mockery in Mo Baichuan's eyes deepened. Trade secrets? Such words might pass if they came from someone else's mouth, but coming from Mo Qixin, they were truly bizarre. No wonder Mo Qixin's reputation outside was so poor. "Since it's a trade secret, then I won't pry." As he spoke, Mo Baichuan's gaze swept past Ni Yang. Ni Yang was just like before, her attention entirely on the plate of gleaming, jade-white lychees, as if she hadn't spared him a glance from start to finish. Had she really not looked at him? Mo Baichuan narrowed his eyes, then turned to look at Grandfather Mo and Grandmother Mo before continuing, "Grandpa, Grandma, I plan to get engaged to Jingrong soon." As Grandfather Mo was drinking tea, he sprayed out all the tea in his mouth upon hearing this. What did you say?" Grandmother Mo was also startled. "Baichuan, marriage is no trivial matter. You can't just do whatever comes to your mind." Mo Baichuan was also at the age suitable for marriage and having children. Under normal circumstances, hearing such news, the two elders would certainly be very happy. But now they couldn't be less happy. After all, Mo Baichuan's intended fiancée was Zhao Jingrong. The outside world knew that Zhao Jingrong was once Mo Qixin's fiancée. If Mo Baichuan really got engaged to Zhao Jingrong, what would the outside world think of the Mo family? Mo Baichuan then said, "Jingrong and I have been together for such a long time, I know she is a very good girl, so I want to settle the matter sooner rather than later." Claiming the engagement was a spur-of-the-moment decision. He wanted to provoke Ni Yang. Upon hearing he was to get engaged to Zhao Jingrong, Ni Yang definitely couldn't hold back. Grandfather Mo wiped his mouth with a tissue. "Baichuan, calm down, Zhao Jingrong is not a good match." Mo Baichuan looked up at Grandfather Mo. "Grandpa, Jingrong is my girlfriend, I know better than you whether she is a good match or not." In the time Mo Baichuan had spent with Zhao Jingrong, she was gentle, considerate, kind, a very qualified girlfriend. Grandfather Mo sighed. Grandmother Mo hesitated, then spoke. "Baichuan, Zhao Jingrong, she used to. Are you trying to say that Jingrong was once Uncle X's fiancée?" Mo Baichuan said. "Yes." Grandmother Mo nodded. "You know that's good. All these circumstances, I need not say more, you should be very clear, right?" Grandmother Mo truly looked down upon Zhao Jingrong. Mo Baichuan's eyebrows furrowed slightly as he continued. "The reason Jingrong broke off the engagement with Uncle Six is that Uncle Six had no ability to keep her. Moreover, she and Uncle Six were initially betrothed as children, and it's been so many years since such practices were abolished. Child engagements are already null and void, and Jingrong has the right to choose her happiness. You and Grandpa can't dismiss her as a good girl just because she broke off the engagement with Uncle Six." Grandmother Mo wanted to say something more, but grandfather Mo raised his hand. All right, you want to get engaged to her, right? Then get engaged. We won't interfere with this matter, but let me say something beforehand. Please speak, Mo Baichuan said. Grandfather Mo continued, since you have decided to get married, don't think about getting divorced later. Our Mo family can't afford to lose face like that. You can count on me, Mo Baichuan said, full of conviction. Grandfather Mo's expression was a bit gloomy, but in front of Ni Yang, who had been Mo Kishin's fiancée, it wasn't good to blast her openly. What if it scared the future daughter-in-law? Ni Yang didn't want to get involved in Mo Baichuan's business and, moreover, Mo Baichuan was too conceited. If she stayed any longer he would likely get the wrong idea again, so she proposed to leave. Besides, she wasn't suited for staying in such a situation. I'll take you, Mo Chishin said, packing the peeled pomegranate into a bag. Leaving? Mo Baichuan looked up at Ni Yang. Was Ni Yang feeling jealous, so she decided to leave? Chapter 863, Can you get first place like this? _4. So, was Ni Yang's next step to figure out a way to sabotage his engagement with Zhao Jingrong? Watching Ni Yang's retreating figure only made Mo Baichuan more determined to get engaged to Zhao Jingrong. Although he had not discussed the engagement with Zhao Jingrong, he knew she would definitely not object. After all, Zhao Jingrong was so infatuated with him. Zhao Jingrong and Ni Yang were the same kind of person, yet they were also different. At least Zhao Jingrong dared to admit her feelings, while Ni Yang refused to openly acknowledge hers, only resorting to underhanded tactics behind the scenes. But for some reason he still found his gaze involuntarily drawn to Ni Yang. Sometimes, Mo Baichuan felt like he was being unfair to Zhao Jingrong. Because he had always been using Zhao Jingrong, he wanted to use Zhao Jingrong to expose Ni Yang. Mo Chishin walked Ni Yang to the door. Yang, let me drive you back. I'm not comfortable with you going alone. Ni Yang laughed. Brother Mo, I brought you here, then you drive me back, and then I bring you here again, back and forth like this. Do we even need to sleep tonight? Mo Chishin handed the bag he was carrying to Ni Yang. Then take this. What's this? Ni Yang was curious. It's pomegranate. I've peeled it for you, Mo Chishin said. Ni Yang declined. I don't want it even though you've peeled the skin, there are still seeds inside, too lazy to eat. Ni Yang really liked to eat fruit, but she was particularly lazy. Fruits with lots of seeds like watermelon and pomegranate she didn't want to bother with. Spitting out seeds was too much trouble. Mo Chishin laughed. I've removed the seeds inside as well. Ni Yang was surprised. Really? Really? Ni Yang fished out a pomegranate seed from the bag and tried it. Oh my gosh. Brother Mo, you're amazing. How did you peel it like this? She never knew that pomegranate could be seedless. Mo Chishin humbly replied, Actually, I didn't know how before either, it was all thanks to the boss' good training. On finishing he continued, Boss, I've done such a great job, don't you want to reward me? And maybe give me a kiss as well? How about I give you a slap as a bonus? Ni Yang raised her eyebrows slightly. Mo Chishin. The next day, Ni Yang took Mo Chishin to the Wu family. Mo Chishin was very adept at handling situations. Knowing the Wu family had many children, he specifically bought a lot of White Rabbit creamy candies and teddy bear biscuits, as well as several cans of milk powder. Godfather and godmother, this is my boyfriend Mo Chishin. Ni Yang took the initiative to introduce Mo Chishin to Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju. Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju were both stunned. They didn't expect Ni Yang to have a boyfriend already. Mo Chishin reigned in his sharp aura and politely said, Godfather and godmother, you can just call me Xiaoma. Xiaoma, come, take a seat. The house is a bit chaotic with so many kids around, don't mind the mess. Yan Erju was the first to recover. After a while of playing, Wu Yinyun came back with her two brothers. Seeing Mo Chishin, Wu Yinyun froze with only 4 words in her mind. Astonishingly beautiful. Throughout her life, she had never seen anyone as good-looking as Mo Chishin. He was like a noble prince who had stepped out of royalty. Elegant and profound. Unapproachable. Ni Yang said, Brother Mo, this is Yinyun and these are her 2 brothers, Dalong and Erlong. Yinyun, this is my boyfriend Mo Chishin. Hearing Ni Yang's introduction, Wu Yinyun quickly snapped back to reality. Nice to meet you, brother-in-law. No wonder he was so handsome, he was Ni Yang's boyfriend. In Wu Yinyun's mind, only someone like Mo Chishin deserved Ni Yang. Mo Chishin nodded slightly. Hello. Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong followed suit with their greetings. Mo Chishin had brought them lots of tasty treats, and the 2 little guys really liked their new brother-in-law. After having lunch at the Wus, Ni Yang and Mo Chishin left. In the car, Ni Yang asked, So, what do you think, does she look like my sister? Mo Chishan nodded, a bit similar but not as beautiful as you. Ni Yang had the classic peach blossom eyes, while Wu Yinyun had round apricot-shaped eyes. Both had very fair skin, and their temperaments were somewhat alike, but lacking that naturally effortless charm. You're just smooth talking. You won't know if I'm sweet until you taste it. Mo Chishan didn't give Ni Yang a chance to reject him and leaned in for a kiss. Actually, Ni Yang had noticed, Mo Chishan really liked to kiss her, and his hands were always wandering. Chapter 864. Can you get first place like this? _5. But Ni Yang wasn't put off, after all. Mo Chishan was a very normal man. A little physical playfulness was only natural for a boyfriend and girlfriend, otherwise, it would be strange. Although Mo Chishan was often playfully physical, he was always very polite and never crossed the line. After a while, Mo Chishan continued, "Where do you want to go this afternoon?" "I'm going nowhere in particular, what about you?" Ni Yang glanced sideways at him. "Since you've got nowhere to go, then come with me to a place," Mo Chishan said. "Sure," Ni Yang replied curiously, "where are you taking me?" Mo Chishan's thin lips slightly curled, "To sell you." Ni Yang raised an eyebrow indifferently, "How much do you plan to sell me for?" 2 cents, Mo Chishan glanced at Ni Yang, "Can't add any more." "I think you just need some training," Ni Yang stretched out her hand to pinch his face. His face turned red from her pinch, yet Mo Chishan didn't even frown. Instead he smiled and said, "Go harder, it doesn't hurt at all." Ni Yang, after a while Mo Chishan went on, "I want to take you to a brother's place." "Brother? Your older brother?" Ni Yang asked. Mo Chishan shook his head, "Not a blood brother, but he has done me a great favor, closer than a real brother, lived in Shanghai for many years and only recently came to Beijing. Remember to save me some face in front of others later." "Don't worry," Ni Yang nodded. Before long their car arrived at the destination. Ni Yang was amused. "Isn't this where Brother Du lives?" "Big brother Mo, does your brother live here?" Ni Yang asked. "Aha," Mo Chishan nodded. "Is his name Du Qingfeng?" Ni Yang queried. Mo Chishan expressed surprise, "How did you know?" Ni Yang said with a smile, "What a coincidence, I know him too." Ni Yang briefly told Mo Chishan about how she knew Du Qingfeng. Hearing this, Mo Chishan said with a smile, "Brother Du will surely be surprised to see you." Ni Yang nodded, "I guess so." The two arrived at Demingxian. The butler here recognized Mo Chishan, and seeing Ni Yang with Mo Chishan, the butler was somewhat surprised. "Isn't she the one Brother Du fancied? And now she's with Mo Chishan?" When they arrived, Brother Du was sitting in the Buddha hall reciting scriptures and striking a wooden fish. Ni Yang mused to herself that this man really lives like a monk. "Brother Du," Mo Chishan walked inside. Hearing the voice of an old friend, Brother Du immediately stood up. "Peiji." "Peiji?" Ni Yang frowned slightly, unaware that Mo Chishan had this name. Mo Chishan went over and hugged Brother Du. It was then that Brother Du saw Ni Yang following behind into the room, his gaze shifting. "Brother Du, you still look the same." Brother Du twirled his Buddha beads, "You haven't changed either." Mo Chishan then said, "Oh, Brother Du, let me introduce you, this is my girlfriend Ni Yang. I hear you two know each other." "Girlfriend?" Brother Du's expression remained unchanged. "I didn't expect Ni Yang to be your girlfriend." He had wondered before what kind of boyfriend a woman like Ni Yang would choose. But he never thought her boyfriend would turn out to be his close friend. He even thought, given Mo Chishan's nature, he might never marry. Suddenly he had a girlfriend. With that said, Brother Du teased, "You're quite the lucky man." Mo Chishan smiled, "Yang, come over and greet him." "Brother Du," Ni Yang approached. Since Mo Chishan called Brother Du that way, it was obviously not proper for her to call him Du Qingfeng or Mr. Du anymore. Little did she expect that her impromptu rescue last time had saved someone from her own circle. "The Buddha Hall is not a suitable place for conversation, let's move over there," Brother Du gestured invitingly. "All right," Mo Chishan, holding Ni Yang's hand, followed Brother Du's lead. The three made their way to the tea room where Brother Du poured tea for them. The tea room was elegantly decorated, filled with antiques and furniture all crafted from precious agarwood. The air was perfumed with not just the scent of sandalwood but also with a subtle fragrance of agarwood. It was a style Ni Yang liked. "The first day I came to Beijing I faced danger. Fortunately I encountered Ni Yang. If it weren't for her, I would have been dismembered by now. This cup of tea I toast to you and Ni Yang." Brother Du raised his teacup. "Brother Du, you're too polite, we're all family here," Mo Qishan said. Brother Du continued, Peiji, when did you get back? I just came back yesterday, Mo Qishan replied. Brother Du set his cup down. I see you two seem ready for good news, planning to get married soon? Chapter 865. Can you get first place like this? _6. Everything depends on Yang Yang. Mo Qishan sipped his tea. Du Jiaojiao understood Mo Qishan very well. Hearing this, he knew Mo Qishan had completely fallen for her. The kind that couldn't be pulled back. Yang smiled and said, I haven't even taken the college entrance exam yet, let's talk about everything after it's over. At her words, a quick flash of light passed through Mo Qishan's deep eyes. You have your exams in a month. Yang continued, and that's also pending your own evaluation. Mo Qishan didn't care that Du Jiaojiao was still there and blurted out, Chief, I haven't passed the evaluation yet? That depends on my mood. Mo Qishan, then when will you be in a good mood? Du Jiaojiao, twirling his Buddha beads, spoke in a faint tone, Peiji and Yang is still young. Don't press her too hard. And don't bully her. Yang nodded, Brother Du is right. Mo Qishan said with a sense of grievance, Brother Du, you think too much. How dare I bully her? It's always been her bullying me. Du Jiaojiao nodded slightly, I see that. After chatting for a while, Mo Qishan continued, after Yang Yang's college entrance exams, I might need to go out for a bit. While I'm away, it'll trouble Brother Du to take extra care of Yang Yang. Mo Qishan and Du Jiaojiao were comrades in arms. He was very clear about the kind of person Du Jiaojiao was, and he also trusted him completely. Du Jiaojiao was influential. As long as he agreed, he would surely protect Yang. Of course, Du Jiaojiao nodded. On the way back, Yang asked Mo Qishan, Are you really that comfortable leaving me with another man? Mo Qishan smiled and said, I've known Brother Du for almost 10 years. I understand his character well. Don't worry, he won't have any other intentions toward you. Yang raised an eyebrow slightly. I heard from Sister Jiaojiao that he has 2 concubines. Ever since she met Du Jiaojiao at Demingxian, Yang had seen her several times. Upon learning that Du Jiaojiao had 2 concubines, Yang had labeled him a philandering womanizer. What kind of era was it that people still took 2 concubines? Mo Qishan nodded. Brother Du does indeed have 2 concubines, but that's just the surface and it doesn't define Brother Du's character. It might be related to his early experiences. Du Jiaojiao, who had seen all walks of life, never believed in love or romantic affairs, devoting himself entirely to Buddhism, much like a monk. Over the years, no one had really caught Du Jiaojiao's eye. Even a fairy, in Du Jiaojiao's view, was no different from an ordinary person. To put it bluntly, Du Jiaojiao would never fall for a woman in his lifetime. Surface appearances? Yang asked with confusion, What do you mean? Mo Qishan continued, Brother Du is the powerful Du Jiaojiao known throughout the area and naturally can't show his true feelings, so, those 2 concubines at home are nothing but a facade to throw opponents off. Yang furrowed her brows slightly, You mean all this is fake? Mo Qishan nodded, Brother Du has never been a womanizer. Yang was a bit shocked, so I misunderstood him. But if that's the case, those 2 widowed concubines are really quite pitiful. Mo Qishan nearly choked on his own saliva. His wife sure spoke bluntly. They each get what they need, Mo Qishan continued. Brother Du needs them to mislead others. They need Brother Du's power. Being kept in Brother Du's residence ensures not only their lives are carefree, but also that their families rise in fortune as well. Yang nodded slightly, that makes sense. Mo Qishan continued, So if you need anything you can go directly to Brother Du. Yang smiled and said, I shouldn't be able to trouble him with much. I know how capable you are. Mo Qishan pulled her into his arms. But Brother Du doesn't have many relatives or friends here, so if you have time, you could visit him in my place. Yang pinched his nose. Aren't you afraid I might run off with your Brother Du? Not scared, Mo Qishan continued. Brother Du has suffered a lot in his early years. He has experienced all facets of life except warmth. If you visit often you can at least keep him company and chat. In the case of anyone else, Mo Qishan would not dare take such a risk, but Du Jiaojiao was different. Yang nodded, Okay, I understand. So it's just about offering warmth? I'm really good at that. Yang often visited nursing homes in her past life to bring warmth to the lonely elderly. Such tasks were a piece of cake for her. Half a month before the college entrance exam, there was a mock exam. During the last 2 subjects, Yang felt a bit unwell, left many questions unanswered and left the exam room early. When the results came out, Ni Yang still ranked first in her year. With a total score of 650, Ni Yang scored 590. Seeing the rankings, Li Wei breathed a sigh of relief. Although Ni Yang was first, she was only 5 points ahead of him. During the exam he had a fever and wasn't feeling well, leaving some questions unanswered. If he had been in better shape. Chapter 866. Dominance to Death, Both Cool and Beautiful. Upon hearing this, another teacher curiously leaned over and asked, "What happened? How come Ni Yang only scored in the teens for physics and history?" Normally Ni Yang had never scored so low. By her side, Ni Yang's homeroom teacher, Teacher Su, said, she wasn't feeling well and handed in her paper early. "No wonder," said the teacher who had spoken. "Old Su, it looks like this year's top student in our city will definitely be Ni Yang from your class." Teacher Su adjusted her glasses and replied modestly, "There's always someone better than the best. It's too early to be certain." Zhang Chang felt very uncomfortable when he heard this. Ni Yang was someone he had introduced to the school, and the top student was from their class. The feeling was like having won a 5 million jackpot but losing the lottery ticket. Terrible. As the exam drew closer, Ni Yang seldom visited the shop these days and was thoroughly revising at home. She hadn't taken part in the 1985 college entrance examination and didn't know what it was like, but she knew there would definitely be text completion questions in Chinese. Reading comprehension, classical Chinese interpretation, and essay writing didn't scare her. It was the text completion that she dreaded the most. So she had been cramming for Chinese at home these past few days. Then, in the blink of an eye, the day of the college entrance examination arrived. July 7th. The college entrance examination is a major turning point in life, and both the Zheng family and the Shengguan family took it very seriously. Old Master Zheng, Madame Zheng, and the Dowager Madame Shengguan all wanted to personally escort Ni Yang to the examination room, but she refused them, saying that the whole family showing up would be too grand. "Grandma's, Grandpa, Mom and Dad, don't worry," she said. "It's just an exam. Why are you more nervous than I am? Having Big Brother Mo with me is enough." "Then why hasn't Xiaoma arrived yet?" Madame Shengguan asked anxiously. "He should be here soon," Ni Yang replied. "I arranged to meet him at the intersection up ahead. He'll go on ahead." Madame Zheng grabbed Ni Yang's wrist. "Yang, are you sure you don't need us to accompany you?" Ni Yang smiled and said, "Really, I don't. I have Big Brother Mo with me and it's not like I'm alone." Seeing Ni Yang so composed and not at all nervous, Madame Zheng also breathed a sigh of relief. "Then we will make something delicious at home and wait for you tonight." "Amichim," Ni Yang nodded. Just like it had been arranged, as soon as Ni Yang stepped out of the front door, Mo Chishan arrived in his car. Ni Yang opened the car door and got in. "Why are you driving today? Where's Wu Daming?" Ni Yang asked, puzzled. Mo Chishan replied, "Because it's the college entrance examination. Wu Daming's sister is also taking it this year, so he went back to accompany her." Ni Yang nodded. "You wouldn't expect Daming to be such a good brother." At this time, the countryside still held a strong preference for sons over daughters. It was very difficult for a family to let a girl take the college entrance examination, unlike in later generations where men and women were treated as equals and female university students were everywhere. Before long they had reached the examination room. The examination room was at a certain middle school in Beijing. There were many parents there to send off their children, most of whom had come by bicycle. There were very few who, like Mo Chishan, had arrived by car. For a moment this garnered many lingering glances. Fortunately, the atmosphere in Beijing was gradually becoming more open, and it wasn't rare to see couples secretly holding hands on the street. Rewind a few decades, and a young couple like Ni Yang and Mo Chishan would have been subjected to public criticism. Mo Chishan carefully checked the pencil case, making sure that all the stationery and her admission ticket were in place. Then he said, Yang, don't be nervous. I will be right here waiting for you when you come out." "I'm not nervous. You, on the other hand, are sweating, Big Brother Mo, and you're not even the one taking the exam." Ni Yang stood on her tiptoes and used her sleeve to wipe away the beads of sweat on Mo Chishan's forehead. Being so close, she could smell a fresh mint fragrance mixed with a subtle scent of tobacco. "I'm heading in," Ni Yang continued. "Wait a moment," Mo Chishan said, catching Ni Yang's wrist. Ni Yang looked back slightly. "What is it?" Mo Chishan held her hand with one hand and took off the watch from his own left wrist with the other, placing it on her wrist. "Wear this and you can check the time during the exam." The men's watch was large, making her fair wrist look even more delicate and exquisite. "I'm off then," Ni Yang said, shaking the wristwatch. Good luck. Don't worry, and Yang nodded, smilingly replied, I will, big brother Mo. See you later. Mo Chishan waved at her and watched as her figure disappeared at the school gate. Chapter 867, Dominantly Awesome, Both Cool and Beautiful. _2. And Yang walked to the examination room with her things. The examination rooms of the 80s, although lacking the electronic gadgets of later generations and without the need for security checks, were still very solemn affairs. In a large classroom of 60 square meters, only 20 desks were placed, spaced generously apart. With 4 proctors on duty and rotating inspectors overseeing the room, cheating was all but impossible. And Yang's seat was by the window in the first group. As the exam had not yet begun, murmurs quickly spread from the surrounding. Beauties, regardless of the era, would always receive special treatment. My God, which school is she from? She's so pretty. Idiot, didn't you see the uniform? She's from Third City Middle School. Third City Middle School, could she be the school beauty? Hearing the words school beauty, someone curiously asked, what school beauty? The one from Third City Middle School, I think her name is Yang. Our cousin goes there too and he said that their school beauty is really amazing. She often ranks first. Really? Wow. The whispers rose and fell, but Yang, as if not hearing them at all, twirled a black pen in one hand and rested her chin in the other, gazing out the window. A breeze lifted her waterfall-like black hair as a serene expression rested on her clear-cut face. The room only returned to quiet when the proctor walked in with the exam papers. Students, quiet down now, said the proctor. Please place your pencil cases on the desks, we're going to start checking them. In the future, students would use transparent pencil bags during national college entrance exams, but at that time there were none and pencil cases were standard. To prevent cheating with notes hidden inside them, teachers inspected every pencil case before the exams. Everyone set their pencil cases on the desks, and the proctors divided into 4 groups, meticulously checking, careful not to overlook anything. 10 minutes later, the distribution of exam papers began. The first exam was Chinese from 9 to 11:30. The examination room was incredibly quiet, save for the sound of rustling writing. Chinese was not stressful for Yang. Even the text completion section posed no challenge, as the time spent studying Chinese texts had not been in vain. The essay portion was more interesting. It was to write an essay based on the philosophy contained within an ancient poem, with a self-determined stance and self-created title. The poem was Pear Blossoms by the Eastern Fence, by the Northern Song Dynasty poet, Su Shi. The most classic lines from the poem were, melancholic is the snow on the eastern fence, how much of life can be discerned and understood. Yang's brows quirked up slightly, and as if struck by inspiration, she settled on the title of her essay, Youth Fleeting. In the 2.5-hour exam, Yang finished all the questions in an hour and a half. However, leaving early was not permitted, so after thoroughly reviewing her answers twice, Yang spent the time doodling on scratch paper. She had wanted to sleep, but this was the National College Entrance Examination room after all, and openly sleeping might affect the other students. A proctor passed by Yang and noticed her drawing. Firstly impressed, then shook their head in resignation. Although her drawing looked decent, this was an exam after all, and these exams determined one's future path in life. How could she be so carefree? That was irresponsible to her own life. An hour quickly passed, and outside it was the peak of the sun's strength. The scorching heat was uncomfortable. As soon as Yang stepped out of the door, a shadow enveloped her from above, and the burning sensation on her skin immediately lessened considerably. It was Mo Chishan coming over with an umbrella. Yang, you must be burning up. Have an ice pop first. Yang replied with a smile, it's okay, it wasn't hot in the classroom. I didn't realize it was so hot outside. Where did the ice pop come from? Over there, Mo Chishan pointed towards the roadside. At that time, ice pops were sold out of insulated boxes, and knowing today was the day of the National College Entrance Exam, the seller had timed his arrival perfectly. At the moment, the uncle was surrounded by a crowd. Yang turned her head and raised an eyebrow in surprise, struggling to imagine Mo Chishan jostling with so many people for an old-fashioned ice pop. Taking a bite of the ice pop handed to her, the coolness was refreshing and the flavor classic, loaded with memories. Brother Mo, want a bite? Yang offered the ice pop to Mo Chishan's lips. The two had already kissed, so sharing an ice pop was naturally not a concern, and moreover, Mo Chishan had bought only one ice pop precisely to share it with Yang. Chapter 868, Dominantly awesome, both cool and beautiful. _3. They shared the popsicle, taking turns, and quickly finished it. Since they had math and English exams in the afternoon, the two did not go home but found a restaurant to eat. After lunch, Mo Chishan found a guest house for them. Ni Yang rested for over an hour at noon and then returned to the examination room. As Ni Yang studied science, the afternoon math exam was half an hour longer than the Chinese exam. The next morning they had exams in physics and history, and in the afternoon chemistry and politics. The third day concluded with the biology exam in the morning. After 3 consecutive days of exams, when Ni Yang walked out of the examination room on the afternoon of the third day, she felt much more relaxed. Just then, a male student hurried to catch up with her. "Excuse me, could you wait for a moment?" Ni Yang looked back and saw a young boy around 17 or 18 years old, with a shy smile on his face. "Are you calling me?" Ni Yang asked. "Yes." The boy nodded and introduced himself. "I am Zhong Aigua, a student from the second city high school. We were in the same examination room, you were in the first group, I was in the second." Throughout the 3 days of exams, Zhong Aigua had noticed Ni Yang. Whenever he encountered a tough question, all he needed to do was look up to see her profile. Her profile was as exquisite as a painting, more beautiful than the scenery outside the window, and it was comforting. On the first day of exams, Zhong Aigua wanted to strike up a conversation with Ni Yang but never found the courage. Today being the last day, he knew he'd never get another chance if he didn't act now. Ni Yang did not reject this friendly advance. Ni Yang from the third city high school. Zhong Aigua continued, "Is it Ni as an individual and Yang as in fireworks?" "Yes." Ni Yang nodded. Keeping pace with Ni Yang, Zhong Aigua asked, "Ni Yang, where do you live?" Before Ni Yang could answer, Zhong Aigua added, "I live in the south part of the city, it's convenient to go anywhere from there. How about we walk home together?" Outside the school gate, Mo Chishan was eagerly waiting for Ni Yang. When he finally spotted her, his face lit up, but then darkened rapidly when he saw Zhong Aigua with her. Ni Yang looked up at Mo Chishan and said, "No need, my boyfriend is waiting over there for me." "Boyfriend?" Zhong Aigua was stunned. You have a boyfriend?" Ni Yang nodded. "Yes," pointing towards Mo Chishan. "That's him." Following the direction of Ni Yang's finger, Zhong Aigua saw a distinguished figure holding a black umbrella, dressed in a crisply ironed suit, his handsome face and slightly upturned delicate eyes shining coldly. Despite the heat of summer, he gave off a chill. Zhong Aigua, frightened, withdrew his gaze, feeling a sudden inferiority. Such an outstanding man, how could he compete? His unstarted first love died in its cradle, leaving Zhong Aigua very unreconciled. "Is he really your boyfriend?" "Of course." "I need to go now," said Ni Yang, and she jogged away. Zhong Aigua watched as Ni Yang ran up to Mo Chishan, who considerately covered her entirely with his umbrella and tenderly swept her bangs behind her ear. So, they really were boyfriend and girlfriend. Zhong Aigua felt suffocated, a heavy, stifling feeling. The scene looked very loving to those around. In fact, Mo Chishan was using the opportunity to touch her hair to question Ni Yang. "Yang, who was that just now?" His voice gradually filled with jealousy. Ni Yang, with a slight dimple showing, jested, "Oh my, who spilled their vinegar here? It's so sour." Yang, do you think him too old?" Mo Chishan continued to inquire. There was a 10-year age difference between him and Ni Yang. Before confirming their relationship, he had always been worried about this. "Not at all." Seeing Mo Chishan turn serious, Ni Yang took his hand. "Mo, you are great, you are outstanding and handsome to boot. I wouldn't dislike you." "Really?" Mo Chishan asked. "Really?" Ni Yang nodded. Mo Chishan followed up, "Who was that person just now?" Ni Yang responded, "Just another student in the examination room, I don't even know his name." Ni Yang had a good memory and she would not forget Mo Chishan easily. She said this just to cheer her Mr. Mo up. Chapter 869, Dominantly Awesome, Both Cool and Beautiful. _4. You really don't know? Mo Chishan's dark expression lightened a bit. "Really, I swear." Ni Yang held up 3 fingers. Mo Chishan continued, "Then what were you just talking to him about? You two seemed quite happy chatting." Ni Yang replied, "I told him my boyfriend has arrived, didn't you see me pointing at you just now?" With that explanation, Mo Chishan was completely relieved. "What shall we have for lunch?" Ni Yang thought for a moment, then said, "Let's go to Color and Fragrance, I've been craving tiramisu." "All right." This was Mo Chishan's third visit to Color and Fragrance. Color and Fragrance was a renowned restaurant in Beijing, and though it hadn't been open for long, it had revolutionized the dining scene in the city. Yang, Color and Fragrance is your business, isn't it? Mo Qixin turned to look at Yang. Yang was surprised and asked, Mo brother, how did you know? Mo Qixin had been particularly busy for a while, and Yang wanted to keep it low-key, so she hadn't told Mo Qixin about Color and Fragrance. But to her surprise, Mo Qixin had guessed it. His thin lips curved slightly. I recognized your style at first glance. An old era had just ended, and at this time the national sentiment favored Western culture. Vintage culture was seen as old-fashioned and rotting, and few would decorate a restaurant in a traditional Chinese retro style, let alone employ Hanfu costumes as a uniform for the waitstaff. Mo brother, you're really smart, Yang offered her praises without stinginess. Of course, Mo Qixin adopted Yang's usual arrogant tone. Otherwise, how could I be your Mo brother? Time flew by, and before they knew it, another week had passed. After spending over a month with Yang, Mo Qixin had to get busy again. Before he left, Mo Qixin took Yang to visit Grandpa Du just like last time. Grandpa Du was sitting in the Buddha hall, chanting scriptures. Hearing the familiar sound of the wooden fish, Yang whispered, Mo brother, is your big brother Du renouncing worldly pleasures? Mo Qixin nodded, it's very possible. However, big brother Du still has many things to sort out. I guess he won't become a monk anytime soon. As they were walking towards the Buddha hall, footsteps were heard from behind. Yang. Yang looked back slightly. Sister Jiao. Mo Qixin nodded slightly. Du second sister. Du Jiao looked at them. Yang, are you really with this guy? Yes, Sister Jiao. Du Jiao continued, I thought he would never marry, this is really disappointing. Mo Qixin used to be quite ascetic. Although Grandpa Du was not intent on celibacy, passing through a myriad of flowers without a single leaf touching him, Mo Qixin was thoroughly indifferent to women, not even having a female assistant around. At one point, Du Jiao doubted if there was something wrong with Mo Qixin's health. Otherwise, at his age in the prime of life, how could he not like women? So when Du Jiao heard that Mo Qixin and Yang were together, she thought it was a joke made by Grandpa Du, but it turned out to be true. Mo Qixin remained composed. Du second sister, you jest. Du Jiao said with a smile, our Yang is so beautiful, you can't let her down. Don't worry, Du second sister. Du Jiao went on, I'm relieved with your words. While they were talking, Grandpa Du, holding Buddha beads, walked out from the Buddha hall. Peiji is here. Big brother Du Jiao said, the weather is nice today, not hot and with a breeze. A younger sister of mine came over too. Why don't we sit in the garden? All right, Grandpa Du nodded. Yang and Mo Qixin were guests, and guests followed their host's lead, so naturally they had no objections. Du Jiao's good friend from Shanghai was called Fu Xiaoshuang. She was 21 this year, very pretty, petite and delicate, with finely drawn eyebrows like willow leaves and light lipstick, the epitome of a wealthy and pampered lady. Her soft-spoken manner could melt into one's bones. Fu Xiaoshuang had pursued Mo Qixin for a while, to no avail, so now she had set her sights on Grandpa Du. Although Grandpa Du already had 2 mistresses, she didn't mind. She was more confident in winning over Grandpa Du than Mo Qixin. After all, Grandpa Du was a man known for indulging in pleasures. To become the matron of the Du family was to rule over the flourishing Shanghai. Thereafter, it would be her Fu family's domain. Chapter 870, Dominant and Dead, both cool and beautiful. _5. Seeing Mo Qixin walking over hand in hand with Yang, Fu Xiaoshuang was quite surprised. Wasn't Mo Qixin known for not liking women? She had pursued Mo Qixin for over a year, but not once did he even glance her way. Unexpectedly, in the blink of an eye, Mo Qixin was with someone else. Fu Xiaoshuang was somewhat unable to accept it for a moment. In terms of timing, she was the one who knew Mo Qixin first. Logically, it should be her who ended up together with Mo Qixin. Although Du Jiao's father was also a good catch, he already had 2 mistresses. What man in today's society still has multiple wives and concubines? In Fu Xiaoshuang's heart, she favored Mo Qixin slightly more, having given up on him previously because she thought he didn't like women. Had she known Mo Qixin liked women, she wouldn't have given up on him. Yang was the only one unaware of Fu Xiaoshuang, so Du Jiao took the initiative to introduce them. Xiaoshuang, this is my good friend Yang. Yang, this is my little sister Fu Xiaoshuang. She's 2 years older than you can just call her Sister Fu. Sister Fu. Yang. Fu Xiaoshuang, who easily warmed up to people, immediately followed Du Jiaojiao and called out. The group sat down at a stone table in the garden, sipping tea and chatting leisurely. Fu Xiaoshuang seemed quite interested in Ni Yang, constantly engaging her in conversation. Ni Yang faintly felt that something was off about Fu Xiaoshuang but still greeted her with a smile. Du Jiaojiao's father looked up at Fu Xiaoshuang, a tinge of darkness flashing in his eyes, rotating the Buddha beads in his hand. "Refill Miss Fu's cup, please." Of course. The servant by their side immediately poured tea for Fu Xiaoshuang. Fu Xiaoshuang wished she could dig up Ni Yang's ancestors. She had no interest in drinking tea at that moment. Du Jiaojiao pressed down on Fu Xiaoshuang's hand. "Xiaoshuang, drink your tea first." She hadn't expected Fu Xiaoshuang to still be hung up on Imo-Chishan. Had she known it would be like this, she wouldn't have suggested going to the back garden to drink tea. Du Jiaojiao deeply regretted it. On the way back, Imo-Chishan took the initiative to explain to Ni Yang that Fu Xiaoshuang once pursued me. If she bothers you again in the future, just ignore her. Oh, I was wondering why Fu Xiaoshuang was acting so strangely, and Ni Yang had a sudden realization. So she's interested in you. Imo-Chishan looked at Ni Yang in surprise. Yang, aren't you the least bit angry? He had thought Ni Yang would be very angry after hearing this. But instead, Ni Yang showed no reaction at all. Didn't Ni Yang's lack of anger mean she didn't care about him at all? Was she about to ask for a breakup next? Imo-Chishan imagined 100 different possibilities, knitting his brows into a Chuan shape. Ni Yang raised an eyebrow slightly, her lips curved with a gentle dimple. "Someone liking you shows you're charming, and it also proves I have good taste. Why should I be angry? Besides, it's Fu Xiaoshuang's freedom to like who she wants. We don't live by the sea, so how can we be so controlling?" Imo-Chishan blanked for a moment. "What does that have to do with your good taste? You dunce." Ni Yang laughed. "It obviously means I have good taste in picking boyfriends." "Really?" Imo-Chishan suddenly became excited. That meant there was still a whole group of people out there wanting to chase after him. Ni Yang continued, "But you mustn't give them any undue hints and must keep your distance from them. You must always remember that you have a girlfriend. If I see you two-timing, we break up on the spot." Ni Yang was by no means joking. Although she liked Imo-Chishan, if he ever betrayed her, she would break up immediately, cutting through the mess without a second's hesitation. Hearing the last two words, Imo-Chishan's heart skipped a beat and he quickly said, "Wife, don't worry, I promise I want two-time. Those gaudy women out there, I promise I won't take a second look. If I take a second look, may lightning strike me." Seeing Imo-Chishan taking it so seriously, Ni Yang laughed. "Brother Imo, I know you're not that kind of person, I'm just laying it out in advance just in case." Imo-Chishan looked back at her earnestly. "There won't be a just in case." The next day, Imo-Chishan boarded a plane to F country. It was Ni Yang who took him to the airport. Also accompanying them was Du Jiaojiao's father. "Brother Du, please take care of Yang for me." Du Jiaojiao's father nodded. "Rest assured. Yang am leaving." Imo-Chishan went over to hug Ni Yang and lastly planted a kiss on her face. Chapter 871, Dominantly Awesome, Both Cool and Beautiful. _6. Imo-Chishan held her and seemed reluctant to let go, and Ni Yang reminded him, "Brother Imo, your boarding time is approaching, it will be delayed soon." Imo-Chishan sighed and said in a low voice, Yang, I can't bear to leave you." "Don't worry, I'll write to you and I'll call you when I can," Ni Yang said. In an era where communication tools were not well developed, making international calls was not easy. Writing letters was also inconvenient as it took a long time for them to arrive. Imo-Chishan tightened his arms and hugged Ni Yang firmly before finally letting go. It was only after Imo-Chishan's figure disappeared at the boarding gate that Ni Yang turned to leave. "Brother Du, let's go." "Okay." Du nodded and followed Ni Yang. The weather was very hot. Today, Ni Yang was not wearing a cheongsam but a simple white shirt and jeans. Even in such a simple outfit, she still caught everyone's eye, especially standing next to Du, who was clad in commoner's clothes. Throughout their walk, countless people turned to glance at them. Ni Yang glanced sideways. "Aren't you hot wearing so much?" In the 6th and 7th months of the lunar calendar, the scorching sun was high in the sky, and it was the hottest time. She felt hot even in a thin shirt, but Du seemed unaware of the heat. He still wore his commoner's clothes and cloth shoes, and oddly enough, there wasn't a single bead of sweat on his forehead. "Not hot." Du twirled his Buddha beads. "I was born with a cold constitution, immune to heat and cold." "Really?" Ni Yang expressed her doubt. "Do you want to check it?" Du reached out his hand that was holding the Buddha beads. And Young paused. How could I verify that? Du raised an eyebrow. Aren't you a doctor? And Young had previously taken dust pulse, but she hadn't noticed this peculiarity then. Could there really be such a thing as a natural cold constitution? While walking, Young reached out to touch Dust's wrist and listened intently to his pulse. Your pulse seems to be different from that of a normal person. Du withdrew his hand. That's the cold body constitution. And Young continued, someone with your type of body would be more suited for medical research. What do you mean? Du asked. And Young explained, simply put, it means that after you pass away, donating your body to medical researchers for dissection could lead to new breakthroughs in China's medical history. And Young hadn't planned on having much interaction with Du, but she had promised Immortality to bring some warmth to this lonely old man. Life as a lonely elder was not easy. Du twitched his eyebrows. You're cursing me to die. Life and death are the common states of human existence, and Young continued, I'm certainly not cursing you. Du, twirling his Buddha beads, agreed, you're right. While they were speaking, they reached the outside of the airport. The car was parked outside. Brother Du, Miss and I, the driver said as he promptly opened the door for them. That morning it had been Du who picked up Immortality. Du was a very considerate man and worried Young might be uncomfortable. He took the front passenger seat. And Young sat in the back seat. Having talked with Immortality all the night before and not sleeping well, Young was seated alone in the spacious back seat. She fell asleep within 3 minutes of getting in the car. A clear, picture-like face could be seen from the rearview mirror. Keep the speed down, Du instructed the driver in a low voice. Sure, the driver responded, immediately slowing down. The car drove slowly down the street when suddenly, hiss. The car mid-drive came to a stop. The sudden jolt woke Young. Have we arrived? The driver, careful not to upset Du, replied, not yet, it seems the car has broken down. I'll go check. With that, the driver opened the door and stepped out of the car. And Young followed suit. The driver lifted the hood and inspected it, fiddling around for quite a while without success. It seemed Du was growing impatient as he also opened the door and got out. What's the matter? The driver said, the problem seems serious. Brother Du, we might have to walk back. The airport was located in a remote suburb, no village in front nor a store in back, and they had no communication tools with them. It looked like they truly had to walk back. It's 30 kilometers from here to Demingxian, Du stated flatly. 30 kilometers? That probably meant walking all day. The driver fell silent. He feared he might lose his job. Just then, Young walked over to the front of the car and looked down, then said, hand me the screwdriver. Miss you know how to fix cars? The driver was surprised but immediately handed Young the screwdriver. Chapter 872, Dominant and Dead, Both Cool and Beautiful. _7 I know a little, Young took the screwdriver. In this era, where would you find a woman who can repair cars? Young, in her past life, was never married and didn't have a boyfriend. She liked to go on road trips, and of course you need to know a bit about car repair for that. In case the car broke down on the road, she could fix minor issues by herself. Mr. Dust's expression was indifferent. Can you fix it? Young took the screwdriver handed over by the driver and quickly twisted off apart from the car. They'll give it a try, but don't hold out too much hope. Be prepared to walk back at any moment. Wrench, Young spoke again. In no time, those pale white hands were smeared with black dust and gasoline. The contrast of white and black was striking and highly conspicuous. After roughly 10 minutes, Young, with a screwdriver and wrench in hand, carefully scratched her nose and raised her long legs to close the hood of the car. That posture, it had an indescribable coolness. Cool and beautiful. The driver was stunned. How long must her legs be to manage that move? The driver couldn't help but look down at his own legs. Young put the wrench and screwdriver back into the toolbox and said to the driver, go ahead and give it another try. The driver nodded, pulled open the driver's door, inserted the key and started the engine. It's working. Miss you're really amazing. The driver was very excited to see the car start successfully. Young, uncharacteristically humble, said, I just got lucky and stumbled upon the solution. Getting into the car, Mr. Du said without looking back. Young, do you know how to drive? Yeah, Young nodded. Recalling a certain image, Mr. Du continued, then your driving must be pretty good, right? It's decent, Young kept it modest. You're too modest, Mr. Du said. Young agreed with a nod, I think so too. Mr. Du. About 10 or so minutes later, They stopped in front of the Zheng family's house. Ai Yang greeted Mr. Du and then pulled the car door open to get out. As soon as she got out, Zheng Xianjing came over from the other side. Yang. Sister Xianjing, Ai Yang greeted with a smile like a carefree young girl. Who's sitting in the car? Zheng Xianjing asked even though she already knew. Mr. Du, Ai Yang answered. Zheng Xianjing continued, there was a misunderstanding between Mr. Du and me last time. I'll go and say hello to Mr. Du. As she spoke, Zheng Xianjing had already approached the car door. Mr. Du, do you remember me? I am Yang Yang's sister, Zheng Xianjing. Zheng Xianjing always felt that Mr. Du must be interested in her. Otherwise he wouldn't have given her such a big gift when they first met. Drive, Mr. Du ordered the driver to go as if he hadn't seen Zheng Xianjing at all. What Zheng Xianjing was left with was only the dust flying all around. Zheng Xianjing's features were twisted in anger. Ai Yang feigned ignorance. Sister Xianjing, are you okay? Zheng Xianjing mustered a small smile. I'm fine, Yang. Didn't you promise to explain things to Mr. Du for me last time? Why does he still treat me this way when he sees me now? Ai Yang took Zheng Xianjing's hand. I did explain for you. Don't lose heart, Sister Xianjing. I believe that if you persevere, Mr. Du will eventually let go of his prejudices against you. Zheng Xianjing narrowed her eyes, sensing that Ai Yang might be toying with her. An illusion? It must be an illusion. Today was Saturday and after dinner, Ai Yang followed Ai Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui, along with little Ai Yun to the Shangguan family. Zheng Suyu had been feeling quite well these past few days, so she sat at the dinner table with everyone during the meal. Suddenly, Zheng Suyu started foaming at the mouth, fell to the ground, and began convulsing in a somewhat terrifying manner. Mr. Zheng and Mrs. Zheng were startled and immediately put down their chopsticks, but they dared not touch Zheng Suyu, fearing they would cause further harm. They quickly turned to the servants. Nyoma, hurry and call Dr. Jiang. Zheng Suyu's condition was very critical at the moment, and Ai Yang immediately went over to administer first aid. Zheng Lingling said, Yang, you can't treat mental illnesses. Let's wait for Aunt Jiang to come. What if Aunt Suyu gets worse under your treatment? Ai Yang didn't say a word. She looked up at Ai Tsuehua. Mom, can you please go get my medical kit from my room? She never allowed the house's servants to touch her medical kit, and only Ai Tsuehua knew where it was. Okay. Ai Tsuehua nodded and immediately went upstairs to get the medical kit. Zheng Lingling was beside herself with worry. Yang, don't mess around. This is not the time to show off. Mom, Dad, you guys need to persuade Yang. Zheng Lingling was still somewhat concerned about Ai Yang, especially after learning of Ai Yang's medical skills. If only they hadn't let Zheng Suyu, this ticking time bomb, stay. She regretted it. Zheng Lingling clenched her fists. Mrs. Zheng said, Lingling, don't worry. Although Yang is young, she knows what she's doing. After speaking, Mrs. Zheng continued, Yang, how is your grandma doing? She was fine just now. How could this happen to her? This was the first time Zheng Suyu had ever had such a problem. Ai Yang's face looked grim. The situation isn't very optimistic. It seems it's time to try the 13 ghost points. But there were still many things about the 13 ghost points technique that Ai Yang hadn't fully figured out yet, and she wasn't 100% sure she could cure the condition. Hearing her words, Mrs. Zheng's face turned pale. Then what do we do? Chapter 873. Zheng Suyu woke up. Ai Yang's eyes lifted slightly. Grandma, don't worry, I will do my utmost effort to cure Great-Aunt. Okay. Great-Grandma Zheng nodded, her eyes unable to hide her concern. Hearing this, Zheng Lingling sighed with relief. From the meaning of Ai Yang's words, she knew that there wasn't much confidence in her ability to cure Zheng Suyu. Shortly after, Ai Tsuehua brought Ai Yang's medical box down from upstairs. Ai Yang took out sterilized medical cotton from the box and wiped the froth from Zheng Suyu's mouth. She wiped meticulously, her expression not showing the slightest disdain, as if she were not afraid of getting dirty. After a series of emergency measures had been taken, Ai Yang instructed 2 servants to carry Zheng Suyu upstairs. Old Master Zheng, Great-Grandma Zheng, and the others also followed upstairs. The room was fitted with an air conditioning unit, and the cool breeze was blowing gently, not feeling stuffy at all, but Zheng Suyu's forehead was still beaded with layers of fine sweat. Ai Yang pressed her hand on Zheng Suyu's pulse and frowned slightly. Now, Zheng Suyu's problem was not only psychological, but her health was also in great jeopardy. In this situation, treatment needed to be administered as quickly as possible. Ai Yang wrote a prescription and handed it to Ai Tsuehua. Mom, Please go purchase the medicine listed here. Okay. Anai Tsuehua nodded. I'll drive you there, Shengwan Dehui said, following Anai Kuihua's steps. Not long after Anai Tsuehua left, the sound of hurried footsteps and Dr. Jiang's voice came from the doorway. Aching, what happened to Suyu? As soon as Dr. Jiang entered, she firmly grasped Great-Grandma Jing's hands, her wrinkled face full of worry. This made Anai Yang inexplicably think of Snow White's stepmother. She didn't know if it was an illusion, but Anai Yang felt there was something very wrong with Dr. Jiang. Great-Grandma Jing truly regarded Dr. Jiang as a dear sister. Her eyes instantly reddened. Suyu's condition is very bad. I'll go check on her, Dr. Jiang comforted. Don't worry, Suyu will certainly be all right. Okay. Great-Grandma Jing nodded. Carrying a medical box, Dr. Jiang approached the bedside. Has Yang Yang already examined your great-aunt? Anai Yang nodded. Zheng Lingling quickly said, Aunt Jiang, Yang Yang practices traditional Chinese medicine and doesn't have much research in mental diseases. Please examine Aunt Suyu quickly, don't delay her treatment. Dr. Jiang smiled and said, Lingling, don't worry. I find this child Yang Yang to be very steady. Medical skills are passed down from generation to generation, and the essence remains the same. Whether it's Western medicine or traditional Chinese medicine, each has its own quintessence. Somehow, hearing Dr. Jiang say this, Zheng Lingling's originally nervous heart immediately calmed down. Since Dr. Jiang was going to examine Zheng Suyu, Anai Yang did not stop her but stood up to give Dr. Jiang her place. Dr. Jiang took out a stethoscope, sphygmomanometer and thermometer and pressed them against Zheng Suyu's body. Her technique was very professional. Clearly she was a very experienced old doctor. Zheng Lingling then asked, Aunt Jiang, how is Aunt Suyu? Dr. Jiang put down the stethoscope and spoke kindly, It's all right. Thanks to Yang Yang's timely emergency measures, Suyu is now out of danger. That's good. Zheng Lingling said, Aunt Jiang, we're entrusting Aunt Suyu's care to you. Dr. Jiang continued, I have to say I'm embarrassed. Although I've been practicing medicine for many years and have spent my life as a doctor, my medical skills do not even compare to half of Yang Yang's. Yang Yang, you should continue treating your great-aunt. Grandma Jiang, you flatter me too much, Anai Yang said humbly. I am just starting out, barely understanding the basics. How can I compare to you? You've been practicing for so many years and have a wide range of knowledge. What kind of cases haven't you seen? Zheng Lingling was anxious for Dr. Jiang to treat her, but Dr. Jiang kept insisting that Anai Yang should do it. Dr. Jiang appeared kind-hearted, but in truth she had a hidden agenda. The more Anai Yang observed, the more she felt something was off. Dr. Jiang smiled at Great-Grandma Jing. Aching, your granddaughter is truly clever and articulate, just like you when you were young. We don't see such modest young people nowadays. Great-Grandma Jing also felt very gratified to hear someone praise Anai Yang. Yang Yang takes after her great-aunt. Suyu was also smart when she was young. It's a pity Suyu was temporarily short-sighted. In Western medicine this is called depression. In the end, because her inner conflict remained unresolved, she ended up like this. In her youth, Zheng Suyu was a talented woman, but after experiencing betrayal and heartache, she never recovered. Chapter 874. Zheng Suyu woke up. _2. Upon hearing this, Anai Yang's eyebrows slightly raised. This Dr. Jiang was really no ordinary person. He even knew about depression. It seemed that he must have read quite a few books on psychiatry. Madame Zheng sighed and continued, Shayan, how is Suyu doing now? How confident are you? Dr. Jiang said, I was not joking when I said my medical skills are not as good as Yang Yang's. I'm not confident I can cure Suyu's illness. Why not let Yang Yang have a look? As he spoke, Dr. Jiang added, Aching, your granddaughter will be successful one day. You just wait and enjoy the blessings she brings. Then I'll take your auspicious words. Madame Zheng turned her head to look at Anai Yang. Yang Yang, since your grandma Jiang says so, why don't you take a look at your auntie grandma? Okay, Anai Yang nodded. Dr. Jiang maintained a smile. I wonder, Yang Yang, how confident are you in curing your auntie grandma? Probably only 10%, Anai Yang answered. 10% confidence. This statement made Madame Zheng's brow twitch. Zheng Suyu was only 55 years old. Dr. Jiang looked at Anai Yang and said, It's really the younger generation that's to be feared. In my hands, your auntie grandma might not even have a chance for a 0.5% recovery, but in Yang Yang's hands, there's a 10% chance. Detecting the flattery in his words, Anai Yang said, Grandma Jiang, you're being too modest. It's just that my abilities are limited, Dr. Jiang sighed. I'm old now and my medical skills aren't what they used to be. It's the younger generation's world now. Zheng Lingling frowned slightly and said, Aunt Jiang, what are you saying? Auntie Suyu has always been under your care. If it weren't for you over these years, Auntie Suyu might have. Dr. Jiang interrupted Zheng Lingling, his tone still cheerful. Lingling, thank you for holding Aunt Jiang in such high regard. But in life you can refuse anything except old age. In medicine it's said that metabolism is constant. Life is the same. It's about old thoughts gradually vanishing while new ones grow. Isn't there also that saying? The blue is made out of the indigo but is more brilliant than it. Zheng Lingling nodded, you're right. Ai Yang held the gold needle in her hand and looked up at Zheng Lingling, her gaze subtly sweeping over Dr. Jiang. Something was not right with Zheng Lingling, nor with Dr. Jiang. These two in one accord seemed very suspicious. Yet, when all their words were put together, there was no tangible problem to pinpoint. After a long time had passed, Ai Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui returned. Madame Zheng quickly asked, Tingting, have you bought the medicine? Ai Tsuehua nodded, it's already been bought and it's being prepared in the kitchen now. After speaking, Ai Tsuehua then saw Dr. Jiang. She was taken aback at first, then greeted Dr. Jiang, Aunt Jiang. For some reason, every time she saw Dr. Jiang, Ai Tsuehua felt a strange sensation inside. It was as if she had seen Dr. Jiang somewhere before. Tingting is back. Dr. Jiang was always very kind no matter who she saw. Because Madame Zheng was worried about Zheng Suyu, it was Zheng Lingling who escorted Dr. Jiang out. After Zheng Lingling had left, Ai Tsuehua curiously asked, Mom, did I ever meet Aunt Jiang when I was little? No, Madame Zheng shook her head. When your Aunt Jiang came from M country, you were no longer by my side. Ai Tsuehua had been missing for several months when Madame Zheng's sister and brother-in-law met with their accident. Before that, Dr. Jiang had been abroad. After speaking, Madame Zheng continued, Tingting, why do you ask? Ai Tsuehua replied, nothing much, it's just that Aunt Jiang looked so familiar as if I've seen her somewhere before. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Madame Zheng nodded, I see. Ai Yang felt something was amiss and asked, Grandma, how did you know Grandma Jiang? Recalling the past, Madame Zheng's face showed her years, and with a sigh, she began to recount that period of time. Upon hearing her, Ai Yang said, so when Grandma Jiang brought back my grandaunt, we had already been missing for several months? Madame Zheng said, more than 3 months. When did great-aunt and great-uncle meet with their accident? Ai Yang continued to inquire. Madame Zheng thought for a moment and then said, it was probably the 2nd month after your mother went missing. Back then, communication was not advanced and neither was transportation, so by the time we received the news, your great-aunt and great-uncle's funerals had already been dealt with. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.